I used every single penny of the $80 million the bank mistakenly transferred to me and bought an abandoned development, all because the bank had rejected my loan application for $8,000 365 times. Then one day, my phone lights up with a transfer notification. $80 million dropped straight into my account. The sender? Government infrastructure funds. Anyone who knew anything about money like this knew one thing: do not touch it. Touch it, and you go to prison. That thought is still running through my head when something clicks. The debt evasion system awakens inside me. Every $10,000 I owe per month equals 1 point. And on this system, even the cheapest item can change a person's life. My heart races. $8,000 a month. $96,000 a year. A few years behind bars? That's hundreds of thousands of points. As long as I can hold on to this money, it's a golden goose. And even if I actually end up in prison, I can trade redeemed tech for a reduced sentence. Walk out early. Walk out legendary. A few years inside, and I come out fully maxed out. A tech empire waiting to be built. So I start thinking, how do I keep this money? How do I spend 80 million fast? Wire transfers, too traceable. Normal spending, too slow. Both can be clawed back. Buying a car or a house takes too long. Still recoverable. Then it hits me. Abandoned developments. Those developers are already drowning in debt. They're one step from the ledge. The moment this money lands in their hands, in less than 5 minutes, it vanishes. These guys have creditors lined up around the block. The bank trying to chase this money through a developer like that? Not going to happen. And here's the real play. If the developer clears their debts, will they take out new loans and finish the building? If they do, the project doesn't fail, it profits. And even if the developer runs, I've already earned my points. Once the points are mine, I'm not losing anything. Worst case, prison, or repay it later. This is the 21st century. Stall for 9 days and those points are mine. I pull up a list of nearby stalled developments, grab my phone, and dial the sales office. Hello? A bright, crisp female voice answers. I want to buy a unit. I'm sorry, sir, did you just say? She sounds stunned. I believe your boss can pull through. I wanted to buy several units, actually. Your prices must be pretty low right now, right? Check with your boss. Yes, sir, 1 moment, sir, please hold. She can barely believe it. Someone thinks we'll go up in value? Is he joking? The only thing going up around here is the body count. Ray, the boss of Ray's property group, looks completely baffled. For real? They want to buy multiple units? And asking about current prices. Give me the number. I've seen plenty of suckers, but one who walks into a sinking ship voluntarily? This guy's jumping on a falling sword. Ray is suspicious, but curious. Moments later, an unknown number calls. Hello? You're the one trying to buy a unit? Ray's voice is full of suspicion. That's me. I want to know the current prices at Celestia Heights. You sure you're not here to pull something? Fine, I'll be straight with you. The bank has a $300 million loan coming due. I've borrowed everything I can. I don't have enough to cover it. I've already started talks to sell off the project. If you're a current buyer, don't panic about the construction stopping. Yunhai Corporation is set to acquire Celestia Heights, but you'll probably need to pay the new company an additional fee. The building will still get finished. Yunhai. My eyebrow goes up. I'd heard the Chi family faction inside Yunhai had been eyeing real estate for a while. Turns out it's true. And they're not playing clean either. A crooked grin spreads across my face. This is exactly what Ray was worried about. Worried. Worry doesn't even cover it. They set a trap right under my feet. But what can I do? Ray curses under his breath, but has no choice. Look, even if you've reached me, there's nothing I can do. But I'll tell you this. I, Ray, have always done business with integrity. Every project I've built has great reviews. Go ask around. This situation? My hands are tied. I've got to accept it. Even if you put a gun to my head, I can't produce the cash to finish the building right now. You're a buyer, right? Give it time. I remember every buyer. 2 years, whatever extra you end up paying Yunhai, I'll personally pay it back. Decent guy, I think quietly. I actually have a sum of money here. I'm serious about buying. This money might actually help you. What good does buying 10 units do me? I'll be real with you. This isn't just a money problem. Ray gives a tired laugh. I have 80 million, I say calmly. What? Ray goes silent. 80 million? Are you serious? If you actually have 80 million, I'll sell you an entire building. 11 floors, 2 wings, 44 units, parking spaces and storage rooms included. But I need to say this up front. This isn't just a money deal. This means making enemies. That's basically a clearance price. I let out a sharp breath. The location is a bit out of the way, but it has potential. Others were paying $260,000 per unit. This is under $182,000. With parking and storage thrown in, that's a 40% discount. As for making enemies, that's irrelevant. 2 questions. I stand up and pace the room. Yongcheng Bank. Do you have a contact there who can authorize a large transfer right now? Ray nods. That loan came from the head office. They're pushing hard. Even at midnight they'd take my call. Second question, if this money gets clawed back, can you protect it? Ray goes quiet for a long moment. Brother, is this dirty money? Does it matter to you whether it's dirty? I shoot back. Ray pauses. Then 80 million. Fine, I'll handle it. When do we deal? Right now. Every minute you wait is a minute of risk. I give Ray the address and hang up. 15 minutes later there's a knock. I open the door. Standing there is a heavy-set man, and behind him, bodyguards. Clearly worried about getting scammed. Smart. I cut straight to it and hand Ray the bank card. Your move now, Ray. Ray isn't much to look at. Rumpled clothes, hair unwashed, Leave it to me. He sits down, verifies the balance on the card, then pulls out his phone. Victor, hey, of course I'm happy. Listen, I got the money. Paying you back right now. Half an hour, just need a small favor. A buddy of mine is sending me a transfer. It's a large amount. Can you authorize the large transfer limit? Thank you, thank you. Drinks are on me next time. He hangs up, gives me a nod, then starts dialing again. Chiang, that money I owe your company, I'm sending it now, but I need you to lend it back. Don't worry, I found a way out. We're going to make it. We're going to survive. Relax, just need the funds to run through your account. Repayment in, loan back out. Victor, do me this favor, stop worrying. It's just moving money on paper. Good, good, we'll get together soon. One call after another. Then my phone buzzes. A message. Your temporary large transfer authorization is now active. Please complete your personal large transfer within 2 hours. This feature is available under the transfer section. Thank you for banking with us. Wishing you great success in business. Hand it over. Ray reaches out and takes my phone, opens the banking app and enters his own account. Seconds later, his phone buzzes with a transfer confirmation. He hands mine back and picks up his own. He moves money fast. Different amounts to different accounts. Some in the hundreds of thousands, some in the tens of millions. 2 accounts receive over 20 million each. A few minutes pass. A stream of notification chimes fills the room. Ray picks up his phone. Every single transfer, coming right back. Under the label of loans, he moves the funds into his company accounts, then uses those accounts to pay off the bank loan. Once it's all done, he scrolls through his contacts and dials. Victor, you got it? So that loan, it's cleared, right? Ha. I had some divine assistance today. About the new loan. Yes, perfect. Give it a couple of days, we'll meet and talk it through. They chat for another minute. Then he hangs up. Ray visibly exhales, all smiles, but his forehead is drenched in sweat. That was a lot of pressure. I owe you one. Anything you ever need, don't hesitate, just say the word. He wipes his forehead and signals the bodyguard, who hands him a document bag. Ray pulls out a thick stack of contracts. Take a look. Sign if everything looks good. The best unit in Celestia Heights, I kept it off the market on purpose, was waiting for prices to climb. It's all yours now. Consider it a thank you. I don't read it carefully. I wouldn't even know what to look for. All that matters to me is the points. And if the contract's fake, the bank won't let Ray off the hook either. My only job after this is handling whatever the bank tries to claw back. I sign. We press thumbprints, seals stamped, 1 copy each. The deal is done. By the way, that money of yours. Ray's curiosity is getting the better of him. Should I ask? Sure, why not, I say, calm as ever. Was it the bank? For real? Ray clearly doesn't believe it. I open the message and show him. Ray's jaw drops. He gives a slow thumbs up. Brother, you're wild. You're genuinely, absolutely wild. This is prison territory. No wonder you're not scared of making enemies. Prison. Not necessarily, I say with a knowing look. Once I've spent the money, it's earned. The bank can't call it theft. My money's gone, now it's your money the bank is after. Ray puts it together, and his scalp crawls. Especially because he's the one who activated the large transfer limit. Oh no, this is bad. He'd assumed it was embezzled government funds, or maybe offshore money, the kind you could tie up in lawsuits and stall forever. But this is the bank's own money, a local bank no less. This is going to explode. Regret hits him fast. Victor up at the head office. There's no way he walks away clean either. Everyone's done. Any chance of getting new loans to finish the building, gone. Think about it from the bright side, I say. You're in the water. Victor's in the water. The government funds have vanished. The bank desperately needs that money back. But where is it? You don't have it. So, the bank's only move is to give you a new loan so you can finish the building. Only a finished building generates money. When it does, everyone wins. Everyone survives. The abandoned development, gone. You make it through. And if Yunhai Corporation tries to move against you again, they'll have to think twice about who's standing behind you. The bank, the city government, and every buyer who's been furious for months. This is the only play. Everyone stabilizes. When your building is finished, the unit you sold me will double in value. The bank doesn't just recover its money, it makes a massive profit. Why wouldn't they go for it? And even if they hesitate, someone will always be willing to trade 80 million for a year's patience. I might not even go to prison. Everyone gets a future. On the drive back, Ray sits in the rear seat of his Mercedes, turning it all over in his mind. The more he thinks, the more unsettled he gets. Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable, he mutters. This kid, all because of a bank error, he snatches gold from a burning building. Incredible. Is he really that impressive? The bodyguard asks. More than you think, Ray says quietly. Keep today's business to yourselves. Understood? Yes, boss. Meanwhile, in a quiet, slightly worn traditional-style courtyard home, Lily goes from totally confident to completely panicked in under 60 seconds. What's wrong? Why are you in such a rush? Can't it wait until after dinner? A middle-aged man in an apron speaks gently, carrying 2 dishes. He gives her a look. I'm always too busy to spend time with you. Today I actually made it home early, cooked you a meal, and this is how you treat me? Lily's face has gone pale. I messed up. I sent a transfer to the wrong account. 80 million. Owen's brow furrows slightly. Then he nods, calm and unshaken. Learn from it. Be more careful. Money doesn't vanish into thin air. Track it down and get it back. Nothing to panic about. If you get written up, accept it. Call it a lesson. If you get fired, find another job. It's not the end of the world. Never rush. Rushing solves nothing. Think before you act. Yes, I know. You lecture me every single day. I'm going. Lily rolls her eyes, shoves her feet into her shoes, grabs her keys, and bolts. My phone starts buzzing. Unknown number. I tap speakerphone. Hello? A voice comes through. Urgent, soft, almost like a lamb. Sounds young. I'm Ethan, I say. Hello, Mr. Ethan. I'm so sorry to disturb you. 2 hours ago I sent a transfer to the wrong account. I just checked and the money is already gone. Could you tell me what you used it for? She's anxious but surprisingly polite and composed. A twinge of guilt hits me. This girl's probably losing her job. I bought units in an abandoned development, I say calmly. Celestia Heights. The developer had no money left to finish the building, so I used the $80 million to buy out the whole block. Now he has funds to finish construction. Don't worry, once the building is done, I'll sell and return every cent to the bank. The girl goes quiet. Her voice is on the verge of tears. Please don't joke. You bought a stalled development? What if they never finish it? If they don't finish it, isn't that what you're there for? I can't resist teasing her. Your bank already put in $80 million. Throw in a little more. Be the bag holder. Once it's fixed up, you still make money. We're a bank, not a property developer. She sputters. Then in the background, voices, shuffling, commotion. The phone changes hands. Hello, I'm Norm, director of Yongcheng branch. I'm warning you that money was sent in error. Keeping it is a criminal offense. You will go to prison. Then come and get me, I say flatly. I knew exactly what I was getting into. I'm at Wutong Lane, Culture Street, Building 6, Floor 6, West Unit. Go ahead and call the police. So you're dead set on being a deadbeat? Norm sputters, furious. Don't get emotional. Emotion won't fix anything. Think it through. If you can't figure it out, just call the police. He doesn't get it. Not worth explaining further. I hang up. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Back at Yongcheng branch, in the conference room, the atmosphere is tense and confused. Lily sits in her chair, dazed, lost in worried thought. Director, what do we do now? Call the police? No, wait. Norm sits back, brow furrowed. Then it hits him. Pull the records. An ordinary person can't move that much money on their own. Someone helped him. Could there be an insider? Also, check Ray's accounts. Find out where that money went. Use every connection we have. This can't be buried, but if we can give the higher-ups an explanation and recover the funds, they won't push further. The amount is large, but at the end of the day it's still just a misfire. The room shifts. Insider hits different. Eyes slide toward Lily. Lily's face drains of color. She genuinely made a mistake. A simple error. But if she gets labeled an insider, she becomes an accomplice. No one's watching her face anymore. Norm slaps the table. Let's get to work. The records come in fast. Norm stares at the data, expression shifting to disbelief. Everyone else in the room mirrors him. The money moved within 20 minutes of hitting the account. That decisive. Director, Ray's account moved the funds to 8 different accounts within 1 minute of receiving them. All corporate accounts. 2 of them are major firms. 1 in the provincial capital, 1 here in Yongcheng. We called. They said it was debt repayment. Director, based on our investigation of Ray and his company accounts, all 8 of those companies transferred money back to Ray's company. Within minutes, labeled as loans. Total, $80 million exactly. And it gets worse. Director, Ray's company account, within 3 minutes of receiving those funds, wired everything to the head office, classified as loan repayment. The loan was under Deputy Victor's name. Found it, Director. According to the head office, the large transfer authorization on your account was activated by a colleague at the head office, at Deputy Victor's personal request. The room goes silent. The insider is Victor? Disbelief all around. Norm sits there, stunned. The insider is above him. He grabs his phone and bolts. Victor is his former mentor, the man who rose up from this very branch. If Victor goes down, Norm goes with him. Victor, you're in trouble. Serious trouble. I'm not exaggerating. This is bad. $80 million. You authorized the transfer. All right. I'll call you back. Norm hangs up and collapses into his chair. His head is spinning. A simple misdirected transfer, and somehow half the city is tangled up in it. Cases like this used to resolve themselves. Meanwhile, Yongcheng is the capital of Dongjiang province. Both the head office and the branch are headquartered here. In Victor's office at the head office, Victor dials in a rage, barely containing a stroke. What the hell are you pulling? You want me to run dirty money through official channels? Are you out of your mind? Ray's voice comes back, smooth as ever. Am I the crazy one here? Victor, this was my only move. You think I'm crazy? Victor goes silent. Headache. A genuine one. He's dealing with a man with nothing left to lose. This has nothing to do with me. The one who rejected your loans and kept pushing for repayment. That's Deputy Joe, not me. I don't care who did what. We're all in the hole now. We survive together or we sink together. Survive together? Are you serious? Victor seethes. With this one thing alone, the moment it goes public, I'm finished. Do you understand that? No, there's still a way out. Ray lays out the plan again, step by step. So, do you get it now? You're already in the water. You have no choice. And think about it this way. Once that building is finished, it's worth $150 million. Keep it in the bank's hands. You're a hero. Put it in private hands. $70 million profit in a year. Your call. As long as this transition goes smoothly, I'm fine. You're fine. Yongcheng branch is fine. Everyone walks away clean. Everyone gets a future. Selling an entire building for $80 million. Ray isn't happy about it, but he has no choice. Yunhai Corporation's reputation casts too long a shadow. No one wants that kind of enemy. Just surviving is already a win. Without this unexpected twist, his fate was already sealed. Victor goes quiet. Before any of this happened, he would never have gotten involved. The profit is tempting, but touching it means crossing Yunhai Corporation, a pillar of Yongcheng's economy. Now the only move is to make noise. Pull in bigger players. He has no choice but to save himself, even if it costs him. Would that kid hand over the contract? That's 70 million in profit. You can't keep all of it. Hearing that, Ray knows Victor has caved. Look, no one's going to prison now. Without your push, none of this profit exists. There's room to negotiate. Take a smaller cut or ask him what he wants. It's all on the table, especially since Yunhai is involved. Victor's face falls again. You know what Yunhai Corporation's position in this province is, don't you? They barely lifted a finger and you almost went under. I can't carry that kind of pressure. I need enough profit to make it worth it, to drag people in with me. Then hold it up or go down with it, because the other option is death, Ray says calmly. This is the only shot. The stage has already been set for me. If I don't swing, I'm letting some young kid laugh at me. Sorry, Victor. Damn it, I'm all in. Victor slams the table. At my level, can they just fire me outright? I have people above me too. There's always someone who can hold the pressure. That loan you applied for before, it's approved. Once this wraps up, it hits your account. The rest is on you. Don't worry, Ray laughs. Free and easy. In Yongcheng, I've got a few moves of my own. All those connections Yunhai spent so long building, burning through every last one of them today. Crossing Industries is like crossing mountains. A company that started selling bottled water, recklessly barging into real estate? What do they actually know about this industry? All right, enough. Victor is irritated now. He hangs up, takes a deep breath, then picks up the phone again, and dials. Back at Yongcheng branch, Norm hangs up and exhales. He scans the room. Every face is locked on him, desperate for answers. Norm smiles. It's sorted. Someone will be here first thing tomorrow morning. I'll be there with them. This branch should come out unscathed. Everyone go home and rest. The relief in the room is immediate. People gather their things and file out. But Lily lingers, eyes fixed on Norm. He thinks for a moment. Lily, go home and reflect. Remember this. If this blows over, you're fine. If it doesn't, I understand. I understand. Lily nods repeatedly. Quietly relieved. Not an accomplice, not an insider, that's all that matters. Late that night, Lily rides her scooter home. She's barely slipped off her shoes when the light comes on, and she finds Owen still on the sofa, phone in hand. Dad! Lily's eyes well up, warm and touched, but also a little wounded. She sits beside him. Owen is as unruffled as ever. Sorted out? Probably not yet, she admits. Lily walks him through everything, every detail from start to finish. Owen listens, pauses, then suddenly laughs. Ha, now that's interesting. The Chi family faction inside Yunhai, all that effort, absolutely nothing to show for it. That's actually a good outcome. Ray's buyers have been furious for days. If this gets resolved on its own, all the better. You're laughing? I nearly died of fear. Lily snaps. You don't know what it was like. They were actually suspecting an insider. I almost became an accomplice. If that had happened, you'd be done too. Not a chance, Owen says, a touch of steel in his voice, then softens into a quiet, reassuring smile. That story doesn't hold up under any real scrutiny. Just relax. I still don't know what happens next. I'm probably going to lose this job. Lily sighs. Owen stands up with a smile. There's money to be made here, and where there's money, someone will swoop in to grab it. Before, no one moved because of Yunhai Corporation's reputation. Now some fearless young man has stomped that reputation into the ground, so others won't hesitate. Ray's property sold low and took a hit, but when you're fighting to survive, that's nothing. That young man, whether he knows it or not, has made a permanent enemy of Yunhai Corporation. As for what comes next, everything returns to normal, at least on the surface. Yunhai takes a massive loss. Ray's property wins big. Whether that young man comes out ahead, that depends on how he sees it. If this wasn't pure luck, then the calculation behind it is extraordinary. But even if it was luck, to ride it this far, to snatch gold from a burning building like that, this kid is no ordinary person. Sharp mind, thinks outside the box, a genuine talent. You, on the other hand, just caught in the crossfire. Stop overthinking it. Get some rest. No staying up late. Back at my rental apartment, I wait. No police show up. Message received. I order some food, eat just enough to get by, spend a few hours scrolling through my phone, learning how this world works, then turn in early. The next morning I wake up on my own for the first time in a long while, genuinely refreshed. I wash up, cook some noodles, and flip on the TV. The morning news plays. Everything looks calm and orderly, as if yesterday never happened. Then, a knock at the door. I turn off the TV and open it. Two people stand outside, a young man and a middle-aged man. Hello, I'm Preston. The young man extends his hand. Lean build, well-fitted suit, warm and polished smile. Hello. I smile back and invite them in. They take in the bare rundown rental. It only makes them more curious. A man this calm, living like this, where does his confidence come from? Both of them are quietly unsettled, impressed, and worried. Going to make this negotiation easy. Have a seat. I gesture to the chairs. Something to drink? Just some water is fine. Preston catches himself mid-sentence, realizing that asking for coffee in a place like this would be unreasonable. The kettle's not on. I glance at the kettle, think for a second, then reach behind the sofa and pull out 2 large bottles of iced tea. I set them on the table. Tea it is. Party pack size, better value. You call this tea? Norm goes quiet. Preston doesn't mind at all. Honestly, I used to drink this all the time in school. Haven't had it in years. Sure, this works. And honestly, compared to someone like Felix, the entitled second-generation type. Preston is in a completely different league. Far more grounded, far more mature. I'm guessing you two didn't come here just for the tea? Seeing that Preston is being respectful, I get straight to it. We're here about the building you're sitting on. Norm speaks first, voice measured. That building was purchased with the bank's money. Regardless of how it happened, those are illegally obtained funds. We've looked into it. Since an error was made, we want to do what we can to make it right. The government funds will be retransferred. This whole matter gets buried. You don't go to prison, but the building comes to us. That shouldn't be a problem, right? I let out a short laugh. How about this? I'll be the one making it right. The building stays with me. I'll have someone send you 80 million. Clean slate. Isn't that fair? Norm goes silent. Alright, Norm, stop testing him. Preston rubs his temple, resigned. Ethan isn't stupid. That building is worth 150 million in a year. And if this gets pushed further, Ethan isn't the only one who suffers. I'm here primarily to help you and Victor get out of this clean. The profit isn't what matters. We're all on the same boat now. Since we're all trying to fix the same mistake, let's just put everything on the table. He turns and looks at me. This involves Yunhai Corporation. Yongcheng Branch and Victor alone can't hold up against that kind of pressure. If you refuse to let go, everything burns. Yongcheng Branch goes down. Victor loses his position, you go to prison, Ray can't get a new loan, the building stays abandoned, and Yunhai ends up winning anyway. My grandfather can hold the pressure. But even helping Victor and Norm out of this costs us something. So, tell me your terms. As long as they're reasonable, I can make the call. Now we're talking. I smile, glance at Norm and say, honestly, I have no interest in the building, but debt, that's something I'm very interested in. Here's my offer, lend me 80 million. The building is yours. By this time next year, when it sells for 150 million, I'll repay the full 80 million with interest. Essentially no conditions. You walk away with pure profit. Impossible. Preston shakes his head. It's not that I don't trust you, but the truth is, you have zero business experience. Lend you 80 million and I'm worried I won't see even 80,000 back. Here, listen to my terms. 10 million. I give you 10 million. You transfer the building over. Everything that follows has nothing to do with you. That's 10 million in pure profit. How does that sound? One lucky break, snatching gold from a burning building, walking away with 10 million out of thin air. That's a massive win. If it were me, honestly, the money would be secondary. Just the story alone, I could brag about it for half my life. 10 million. I think it over. It's a lot of money, but it's earned income, not debt. It doesn't generate points. No points means no tech redemption. And without redeemed tech, what's 10 million really worth? Going into business with raw money alone. Now that would be genuinely stupid. I'd probably lose every cent. I know myself well enough. Winning through a dimensional beatdown, that's how I get rich. Grinding it out in a fair fight, guaranteed loss. Playing mind games in the business world, I'm still too green for that. Scamming people, bad conscience, bad future. No reason to dirty my hands when a brighter path is right in front of me. We hit a standoff. Neither side is happy with what the other is offering. Then Norm suddenly speaks up. I have an idea. What idea? Both Preston and I turn to look at him. You take the building. He points to Preston. Then he points to me. You take 10 million. We both look confused. Norm rushes to explain. And then, here's the key part. Ethan, you go acquire some kind of asset, ideally something that sounds impressive but is hard to put a precise value on. Then you use that asset as collateral and take out a loan from our bank. My eyebrow goes up. On the surface, it sounds reasonable, but the execution is anything but simple. I know. Norm nods. Personally, I wouldn't dare approve a loan like this. But Victor is above me, and above Victor is Preston's grandfather. With their backing, this can be done. As long as it's not too blatant, no one can find fault with it. But there's one critical point. Preston cuts in, looking directly at me, his tone a clear warning. The moment you do this, you are genuinely 80 million in debt. A deal structured like this carries extremely high interest. If you can truly generate large-scale returns, fine. But if you're just planning to run an ordinary business, think very carefully. Your profits may not even cover the interest. Don't blow this, or you'll actually end up in prison. I'm confident. I nod. One more thing, Norm adds. Given the size of this loan and the very unique nature of your situation, I need certain guarantees. So, whatever you decide to do, the person managing the books must be one of our people. And to ensure your safety, the bank will assign you 2 bodyguards. Their salaries are on us. And the most important condition of all, if your business takes a major loss, we can demand immediate full repayment at any time. I look at Norm with new respect. The bookkeeper is his person, meaning I can't spend recklessly. Every dollar has to be justified. The bodyguards are his people too. There to protect me. Really there to make sure I don't run. This is the only arrangement that can legitimately get you that 80 million, Norm says with a tired smile. Don't give me that look. If we end up with nothing or you disappear, the rest of my life is over. Fine. I'm in. I nod. None of this really matters to me. What matters is the end of month points calculation. Redeem the tech. Then the dimensional beatdown begins. Go broke? Absolutely not possible. You know what a tech-level dimensional beatdown looks like? You play a 2, I drop a rocket hand. You play a 3, rocket hand. You play anything, rocket hand. Every single card in my hand. Can I lose? Let's sign. Norm sees I've agreed. No more words needed. He pulls out the prepared contract, then takes out a blank sheet of paper. Don't worry about me backing out later. I'm writing you a personal pledge. If I break it, I go to prison with you. He writes quickly, presses his thumbprint, signs, and hands it to me. Listen carefully. No one outside of us can ever know this exists. Read it. If you're satisfied, I'll seal it. Once the loan is fully settled, you must return it to me, completely intact. Do not open it in the meantime. I have no way of knowing whether you'll make a copy. Norm is dead serious. I take it, read it over, and nod. Works for me, seal it. Norm nods, pulls out a special envelope, folds the pledge inside, and seals it shut. I notice what looks like a special adhesive. Sharp chemical smell. No ordinary method would get that paper out without leaving marks. All right, sign. The contract slides across to me. I sign quickly, then Preston and I press our thumbprints against each other's copies. Pleasure doing business. Preston exhales, genuinely relieved, and transfers 10 million to me on the spot. Pleasure doing business. I stand to see them out, watching until they're gone. Yunhai Corporation. I frown slightly. Everything I just pulled off has made me a permanent enemy of Yunhai Corporation. No going back. The original soul was once a Yunhai employee. He knew them well. Yunhai Corporation is no small operation. They span multiple industries, a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate ranked among the top 500 private enterprises in the country. Their core business is beverages, bottled water and fruit sodas, along with health supplements, canned goods, snacks, instant noodles, self-heating meals, and more. The original soul had been a food technology researcher there, specializing in convenient snack food development. When the original soul first joined, Yunhai had been attempting to expand into dairy and financial markets. It ended in a total wipeout. Their market value was nearly cut in half. They've only just now recovered. The push into real estate was clearly being driven by the Chi family faction. In recent years, housing prices had been climbing so fast that the government started paying close attention, cracking down from every direction to cool the market. Real estate is practically a dying industry at this point. Jumping in now? Either they're out of their minds, or they're trying to cash in on the last wave, thinking about what happened to Ray's property and the internal power struggle inside Yunhai. I'm fairly sure it's the latter. But since I've made them an enemy for life, I can't just sit back and wait for trouble to find me. Waiting is not my style. I move first. My eyes drift to the cheapest items in the system. Water quality enhancement tech. 5,000 points. Review, honestly, just buy the genetic enhancement serum instead. Food and beverage formula optimization tech. 5,000 points. Review, now this is the one. This is the one. Sit back, enjoy the good life. If I redeem both of these techs, taking down Yunhai Corporation would be child's play. But no. The real target is a world-class beverage brand. Yunhai? Just collateral damage. Gets crushed on the way. That's the move. A strange smile spreads across my face. I check my phone. 10 million sitting in the balance. I scroll through my contacts. Find an old classmate. I heard your hometown is known as some kind of longevity village, great water, healthy living, and there's a natural reservoir nearby. I just lost my job, thinking of starting something. Mind if I come check it out? Sure. No need to take time off, just swing by when you can, show me around. Perfect. Done. I'll book my ticket now, heading over now, see you at noon. A little over an hour later, I open my door without a care in the world and find 4 people standing right outside. One of them has his hand raised, about to knock. We both startle. I clock 2 massive guys and step back instinctively, then spot Norm standing behind them. Director Norm, what's going on? I exhale. Norm jumps too, about to speak, but he notices the bag on my back. His eyes narrow. Where are you going? He has every reason to be suspicious. Right now, the biggest loser in all of this, aside from Yunhai Corporation, is him. He'd wanted to impress Preston, so he volunteered to handle the follow-up. Even wrote me that personal pledge. In the moment, all he wanted was to look good in front of Preston. But the more he thought about it on the way home, the more terrified he got. He'd handed over evidence, enough to bury himself for life. Was it worth it? He scrambled to pull in favors, tracked down 2 strong ex-military guys, personally selected a suitable accountant, and rushed straight here, just in case. And now he's caught me looking like I'm about to bolt. Don't you want that 80 million? Norm asks, voice shaking. Of course I do. I look at him, confused, and it clicks. So these are the bodyguards and the accountant you found. I shake my head. You really didn't waste any time. The money hasn't even come through yet, and you're already here babysitting me. The money in my pocket right now, that's mine. Nobody needs to manage that. Norm quietly breathes out. It won't be long anyway, he says with a recovered smile. Once you know what you're doing, get your asset ready, submit the application anytime. It'll be approved on the spot. They're all on fixed salary. Early or late, they cost the same. Isn't this all for your safety? Yeah, right. You're here to protect that pledge, not me. I sigh. I made plans with an old classmate, going to check out a project near his hometown. If it works out, I'll lock it in fast. I'm not running anywhere. Stop worrying. I'm more anxious than you are. Take them with you. You'll be safer, more convenient, someone to look after things. And any heavy lifting or dirty work, hand it to her. He gestures to the 4th person standing beside him. A young woman. I look up. She has a slightly round, youthful face, dressed in business attire, fresh and bright, genuinely beautiful. The kind of face that gets more attractive the longer you look. A real stunner. Heavy lifting and dirty work. Norm, are you seriously getting back at me right now? I'm baffled. The girl raises her head too, large eyes filled with equal parts curiosity and barely concealed fury. Hello, I'm Lily. From now on, I'll be your secretary, assistant, financial manager, and personal handler. Director's orders, one rule, never leave your side. I hope that's acceptable. That soft voice again. Lily is secretly furious, clearly hoping I'll turn her down. She absolutely does not want this job, but she's the one who made the mistake, and Norm named her on the spot. She didn't even get a chance to refuse. Quit? Not an option. Running from your mistakes, her dad might smooth things over, but if she quits and runs, word gets out. Then she's done for good. How would she ever face her family, friends, close girlfriends again? Years of being laughed at. You know that girl? worked at a bank, misfired 80 million, then quit and bolted. Just imagining it makes her skin crawl. Deep breath. Lily stares at me, blinking, and realizes she's genuinely a little curious. She just made a transfer error, but this person pulled off something extraordinary, impressive enough that even her notoriously hard-to-impress father called him a talent. This young, is his mind really that sharp? And where does that nerve come from? Could it be there are actually people out there who throw themselves headfirst at an opportunity? No hesitation, no second guessing. Who doesn't pause, doesn't waver, doesn't overthink? Why is he so decisive when one wrong step means everything? While she's still turning it over, she catches that voice, familiar, unmistakable, and it clicks. You're the one who got the wrong transfer, aren't you? Lily's expression crashes. Norm gives a small, satisfied huff. That's right, that's him. These kinds of disasters are better off causing trouble for someone else. Our branch has people with heart conditions, can't handle surprises like this. You want him managing my books? Now I'm the one caught off guard. I pull Norm aside. You're not worried he'll accidentally run me into the ground? Absolutely not, Norm says, though his expression wavers slightly. Privately, he's second-guessing himself. He forces a smile. When he transferred to our branch, I reviewed the file personally. Top university, accounting major, every certification. I couldn't believe someone like that would choose a branch like ours. Someone with that profile could walk straight into a major investment bank or one of the big four, and they'd take him in a heartbeat. Now I think about it. This is fate working in your favor, Ethan. You're the strategist. He's the enforcer. Perfect pair. Privately, though, Norm is wondering, no wonder someone with a resume like that ended up at our little branch. The academics check out. The person? Less so. Maybe he should swap him out, but they're already here. Even if there are some mistakes, they'll probably stay manageable. And Ethan, this crafty operator, will surely find a way to handle it. Having convinced himself, Norm drops the pleasantries. Ethan, this is how it is. Whatever you decide to do, take these three with you. Let me introduce them. This is Marcus, this is Stone. Both discharged from service this year. Solid guys. Your safety is guaranteed. Translation? There's absolutely no running away. Got it. I deadpan. Fine. A few more mouths to feed, a few extra tickets to buy, a couple extra beds. Come along then. Alright, I'll head back now. Preston and Ray should be wrapping up their meeting about now. I should go see them off. Norm waves and slips away. That catches me off guard. Preston is playing both sides. No wonder he handed over 10 million so easily. He's probably collecting a sizable cut from Ray as well. Then again, crossing Yunhai Corporation for a profit of just a few million? Probably not worth it unless there's more on the table. He said it was about helping his people, but Ray's survival depended entirely on Preston holding the pressure. Giving up some future earnings, fair enough. Let's go. We head out. In Yongcheng's Jingjiang New District Business Hub, Yunhai Tower stands tall. Unlike the factories scattered across Dongjiang Province and beyond, Yunhai's tower handles sales, distribution, network logistics, and finance. The founder of Yunhai Corporation was the late Qi Yunhai. In the beginning, the entire corporation belonged to the Qi family, a true family dynasty. But a few years ago, Qi Yunhai passed away. His eldest son took control of the corporation. Ambitious man, he poured enormous resources into building Yunhai Tower and brought in outside financial capital, aiming to break into finance, livestock, and other new industries. But he overreached badly. Within just 2 or 3 years, Yunhai suffered crushing defeats across multiple sectors. The corporation's assets were cut nearly in half. Through public listing, equity restructuring, and outside investment, Yunhai eventually stabilized. But today's Yunhai Corporation is no longer under the Qi family's control. The Qi family is more like a figurehead now, holding less than 15%. The rest of the equity is distributed among various investors. Rex, the eldest Qi, is still chairman in name, but in reality, he was sidelined long ago. Today, Yunhai's true power lies with a professional CEO, Director Kane. Kane is a man in his mid-40s, in his prime. He had served as a senior executive at multiple major corporations. His exceptional performance led a coalition of investors to recruit him as president. Sharp, driven, meticulous, full of energy, highly capable, with outstanding vision and a strong sense of the big picture. That was the consensus across every major headhunting firm. After taking the role at Yunhai, leveraging his investor backing, he completed a full internal restructuring in just 2 months, executed a sweeping round of layoffs and streamlined the core team, and used the process to consolidate control over the board. You have to admit, the man is formidable. With the investors' trust and the employee support, Kane today holds absolute authority inside Yunhai Corporation, much like the Qi family once did. At this moment, an internal meeting is underway. The large screen plays through the full sequence of events. Text, images, the full picture laid out for everyone in the room. A woman in a sharp blazer speaks, her voice cool and flat. That is how it happened. I have never agreed with the corporation entering a nearly obsolete industry like real estate. But since it has happened, we absolutely cannot allow Yunhai Corporation's reputation to be stomped into the ground. That will affect our investor rating. I expect the Qi family and everyone else present to come up with a solution. Vivian, you talk too much. Felix cuts in suddenly, face dark. Do I? Vivian's expression doesn't change, ice cold. If you don't have the ability, don't act. The more you do, the more you lose face. And what exactly does that mean? Felix erupts, shoving back his chair. From the head of the table, Kane raises a hand. Enough. Sit down. I need solutions, not arguments. Felix, listen. Sit down. From the second seat, Rex, the current chairman, adds his weight. The executives below breathe a little easier. The tension at the top is crushing. Our contact at the head office sent word. Pressure has come from above. Deputy Joe says his hands are tied. Someone speaks. Based on our investigation, the one who applied the pressure was Dongjiang Province's chief financial and economic official. What about our investors? Is there any room to intervene? Rex looks to Kane. Not anymore. Some things go beyond profit. There are deeper layers here. All I can say is it was one thing leading to another. Kane shakes his head. Are we just going to let this go? Felix refuses to accept it, especially when he sees that familiar face on the presentation screen. He's grinding his teeth. Is this payback? Because of some woman? This is too far. From this moment on, the Chi family's grip on Yunhai Corporation slips down yet another level. That woman, this is all your fault. He wants to go back and make her pay. Then what other option do we have besides accepting it? This place is always run on relationships and unspoken rules. The brute force capital playbook doesn't work as well here. A returned overseas executive speaks flatly. Enough. Kane raises his hand again. Raised Property Group is a small matter. Yes, the investment wasn't nothing, but it's within acceptable loss range. Any investment carries risk. Nothing is ever guaranteed. Before committing, we should have planned for failure. The unexpected factor right now is just one small, unknown individual. We at Yunhai Corporation don't lose, but we absolutely can't afford to lose to some nameless nobody, and one who was fired by our own corporation no less. What you need to be thinking about right now is how to recover our reputation and protect our investor rating. The moment those words land, the room falls completely silent. Kane is right. Losing is normal, but losing to a complete nobody isn't just infuriating. It's a question of how you ever recover face, how you protect the rating. You can call it an accident, but outsiders have to believe it. Right now, the move is to keep the narrative contained. Either the world finds out Yunhai Corporation lost badly, or the world is reminded that Yunhai Corporation is not to be messed with. Meeting adjourned. Anyone with a real idea, come find me in my office. A long pause. No answers come. Kane can't sit still any longer. He stands, resigned, and leaves. The moment he and Rex are out the door, the room erupts. Executives talking over each other. This is a mess. From everything in that file, that guy is completely untouchable. Just got fired by us. Apparently has a medical condition. Hard to even go after him. Exactly. Nothing to grab onto. No angle of attack. What if we expose what's really behind all this? Are you serious? That kind of talk stays in this room. Think about how many people are involved. As long as the people above stay clean, doing that is like kicking a monk at the foot of a holy mountain. You'd be the one destroyed. Exactly right. Nothing in this story takes anyone down. Nobody technically did anything wrong. If it gets out, we become the punchline. Outplayed by someone we ourselves fired. Then there's really only one old play left. Hype him up. It actually works. If you make him sound legendary enough, losing to him stops being shameful. I don't see how. Hyping up big institutions, sure. But how do you hype up a single random person? Even if you call him a living legend, people have to actually believe it. Yeah, it's a stretch. And it's not just the hype that's a stretch. When I actually sit down and think through what this guy pulled off, it's genuinely insane. Only now does it hit you. That presentation had me completely floored. I was just sitting there in a daze. My head is still spinning. A talent like this, who made the call to fire him? Next level move. Absolutely unreal. In Kane's office, Kane drops into his chair, has his secretary pour him a cup of tea, and presses his fingers to his temples. What a situation. Every idea the other executives could come up with, he'd already thought of, but every one of them was either impossible to execute, or would make things even worse if tried. In the business world, the hype play is well known. When two sides clash, the loser often goes out of their way to praise the winner. It shows class. Makes it look less like weakness and more like the other side was just exceptional. It's also, quietly, a way of conceding, giving the winner full face, letting the matter close. Business is like war, but there's another saying that rings just as true. There are no permanent enemies, only permanent interests. Every business conflict is about profit. You lose, you let go of the profit, but that doesn't make you sworn enemies. Money is never ending. Down the road there may even be cooperation. All-out destruction is rare in business, and those who go that route rarely last long. Director perhaps. The secretary steps forward, voice low. The head of the convenient snack food development division says he has a way to handle this. He's waiting outside. Kane looks up, mildly surprised. That's the division that fired him, isn't it? He pauses. Let him in. I want to hear this. A moment later, the secretary leads in a young man. Straight posture, sharp clothes, radiating confidence. The look of someone who thinks he's already won. The key detail, he's not from the Chi family. This young, already in a management position, and not a Chui. Does this company actually have hidden talent? Could I have overlooked someone like this before? Let a genuine strategist walk out the door, while a talent like this one sat unrecognized. Kane turns it over in his mind, thinking it's time to do a serious talent audit across the entire corporation. Ever since he watched my move play out, what used to look like impressive business battles now feels almost dull. He used to read the classics of ancient strategy, and always assumed the genius moves were exaggerated. That in the real world, with limited information, no matter how sharp a person was, they couldn't actually plan 10 steps ahead and win from a distance. But today, he thinks maybe he should read them again. Snatching gold from a burning building. Playing all sides. I gave him a masterclass. Director, the young man steps forward, full of confidence. Kane's curiosity grows. My secretary tells me you have a solution. Let's hear it. Whatever it is, workable or or not, I won't hold it against you. Kane lowers his guard completely, instinctively falling into the gracious leader role he'd seen in TV dramas. Thank you, Director. The young man is visibly thrilled and opens with an apology. I'm sorry, Director. I run the tech division. The termination. You approved it, but I was the one who flagged it. He had a medical condition. Overworking himself. I was worried the company might face liability. After all this happened, I felt deeply responsible. I let the company down. He came from my division. I took every precaution and still couldn't prevent this. And he ended up causing the company enormous damage. Truly infuriating. And to think, we gave him a generous severance package. Because he came from my division, I was the first to hear when this broke. I immediately had people look into him. From what I've gathered, he mentioned in a private employee group chat that he'd wanted to buy into a stalled development. Very few people knew about our plan targeting Ray's property. Someone must have leaked it. We can use the charge of stealing trade secrets to have him and the leaker arrested. Not viable. Kane shakes his head, visibly disappointed. Too many people knew about this. And at its core, this was the Chi family using their name to pressure Ray's property. There are no trade secrets involved. The charge won't hold. The young man's eyes flicker. I've been tracking his movements. He's headed to Moon Lake in Wei County. He already has a medical condition. If someone were to give him a little push. Hold on. Kane feels a cold dread forming. He went somewhere else. You know that too. You had people following him? The young man shakes his head. Kane breathes again. But then, the young man smiles. I have his file. I know his home address. I've already put 5 people on him. Right now, Director, one word from you, and those 5 find a quiet spot and push him into the lake. Clean. Untraceable. No one will ever point to us. That way, not only do we teach him a lesson, anyone smart will know not to underestimate Yunhai Corporation. Kane erupts from his chair. Both fists hit the desk, face burning red. Get the hell out of my office! The young man freezes, completely lost. Get out! Kane roars again. The young man scrambles, stumbles, and bolts from the room. The secretary rushes in at the sound. Find out! Who brought him into this company? Who does he report to? Who is under him? Is this the Chi family? Is this the Chi family? Damn it! Fire them! Fire all of them! Kane is livid. The secretary turns and rushes out immediately. Director Kane pauses, catching his breath. Still furious, he paces back and forth across his office. He grabs his water cup, about to take a sip, then slams it on the floor in a rage. Damn it! What the hell? Everyone said the Rex family plays dirty, but not this dirty. I came here as a professional manager, and now they want me to run bribes under the table? They want to drag me down with them. The more Director Kane thinks about it, the angrier he gets, and the more terrified. Thank God he didn't say it that way. He asked for a specific solution, not whoever fixes this gets rewarded. If he had phrased it that other way, Kane would already be at the bottom of the lake, and Kane himself would have been the one pulling the strings. The thought sends a cold sweat down his spine. He grabs the phone and dials. Hello? Vivian, come to my office. I found something. There are problems inside this company, and there may be layoffs coming. He hangs up and sinks into his chair. He rubs his temples. What is wrong with these people? This company isn't your family property. You're just a worker, making what, a few bucks a year? And you're out here risking your life for them. What exactly did the Rex family give you? Meanwhile, at Moon Lake in Wei County, an autumn breeze drifts across the water. The surface ripples gently. I sit on a small wooden boat. Lily is on her own side, quietly brewing tea to pass the time. I open my phone, about to message my old buddy, but I'm hit with a flood of messages instead. From the finance department. Hey, you bought a whole building? Weren't you the guy who was too broke to buy a normal apartment and had to settle for an unfinished building? And now you bought the whole unfinished building. From the general affairs department. No way. Is this real? The boss got rich the second he quit. What, did you decide work wasn't fun anymore and went home to inherit a billion-dollar fortune? From HR. It's real. I saw the internal meeting documents. Name matches. Photo matches. It's him. From the tech department. A whole building. From quality control. Oh my God. Young Master Ethan is that loaded? Then why was he borrowing money from us? Just to experience what it's like being broke. From sales. I always knew it. People are just built different. Some people are born with horses. Some people just pretend to ride them. Turns out he actually owns the horse. From another tech staff member. He tried to borrow money from me too last time. I said no. Huge mistake. I should have grabbed onto that leg when I had the chance. On top of the group chat, there are private messages too. From the finance department. Please, I am begging you, do not tell anyone it was me who leaked this. I'm done for if you do. You have no idea what you've pulled off. The entire group is in an uproar right now. The whole leadership team is losing their minds. I reply, okay, I'll make it worth your while. Another message from the same person. Then there's one from his old manager's manager. Do you have any idea what you've done? Why would you do this? The company never wronged you. You should be grateful. I type back, idiot, block, delete. The next message is from that awful woman, Jin Yalan. Where did all that money come from? You said you gave me everything you had. Liar. Cheap, stingy man, look at you. Even with all that money, you'll never compare to Felix. Blah, blah, blah. My eye twitches as I read it. Without hesitation, I reply, you're right. I didn't give you everything. There's still one thing I owe you. Hasn't your mother been feeling unwell lately? I'll send her ashes your way. Block, delete. Done in one smooth motion. What kind of people are these? I shake my head in disbelief. Just then my phone rings. I look up. Someone on the shore is waving at me, phone in hand. The boat drifts to shore. He climbs on. He looks at Lily, then at Zach and Buck, clearly surprised. Ethan, is this your girlfriend? And who are these two? No, I wave it off. I'm single. This is my assistant Lily. And those two are Zach and Buck, my bodyguards. An assistant, bodyguards. He stares, jaw dropping. What's going on with you? Are you here to invest in Y County? I smile and gesture toward Moon Lake. Rocky, I'm planning to build a water plant right here, produce bottled drinks and spring water. What do you think? You're joking, right? Rocky looks genuinely lost. I mean, sure, Moon Lake connects to underground rivers, so water's not the issue. And yeah, Y County has that whole land of longevity reputation. But there's no minerals in this water. It's literally just river water. Someone was peeing on the riverbank not 10 minutes ago. Who's going to buy that? Only a fool. That's exactly the point. Turning the impossible into something real. I keep my face calm and confident. But inside, I'm rolling my eyes. If there were a better location, I couldn't afford it anyway. Seriously though, what is going on with you? Rocky plops down, completely dazed. He looks at Lily, then at the two bodyguards, then back at me. It feels like a dream. This guy was a total simp just a while back. How did he blow up overnight? I gaze out at the lake shimmering in the sunlight. This lake is basically a natural reservoir. Why hasn't anyone turned it into a tourist spot? You're actually serious about this? Rocky still can't quite believe it, but he answers anyway. Young City is the provincial capital. There are plenty of tourist spots around it. Y County falls under Young City's jurisdiction, but it's just too far out of the way, and most of the young people in Y County have left for Young City to find work. The local economy here can barely keep itself going. Forget about tourism. The reservoir is nice, but it's too remote, not worth the investment to develop it. The county government did consider it years ago, but they ran the numbers and dropped the idea. That said, if you're actually serious about leasing this reservoir, the price won't be cheap. Rocky works inside the government system. Y County is his hometown. After graduation, he came back and passed the civil service exam. He knows everything about this place. How much? I ask. Hard to say exactly. Rocky frowns slightly, thinking it over. The reservoir isn't huge, but it's not small either. Because it connects to underground rivers, you can't use it for fish farming. A few years back, someone wanted to lease it, but after bringing in experts, they walked away. Back then, the county was asking around $20 million for a 30-year lease. At that, Rocky can't hold back. Ethan, stop playing around. Where are you getting this kind of money? Even if you have money, you don't throw it away like this. Listen to me. Let's go eat, and then you go straight back to Young City. Don't flush your money down the drain. Do you even know me? I laugh. I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't absolutely sure. Think about what I do for a living. You don't just start a business without something solid to stand on. Rocky hesitates slightly. Food and beverage development. Then it hits him. My old company, Cloudseed Group. That company built its entire empire selling bottled water. Could it be that Ethan got hold of some kind of core technology? But what the hell kind of core technology does bottled water even have? Rocky keeps pressing. You're really not joking. Really not. Alright then, let me make some calls. Rocky doesn't mess around. He pulls out his phone, dials, and walks to the front of the boat. After a short conversation, he hangs up with a string of thanks. I checked with a contact. If you're serious about taking it, you can go negotiate, probably around $15 million. Still a 30-year lease. Thanks. I nod. I turn to Lily. Go negotiate. Under $10 million, 20 years. Lily points at herself, completely stunned. I rub my chin. Right now, you're my only capable person. Who else is going to go? Before she can argue, I add, or you could call Director Norm and ask him to send someone more competent. Lily immediately goes quiet and stares at the floor. She's frustrated and stuck. Wants to push back, but can't. Director Norm already made it clear. If she messes this up, she can pack her bags. That is not happening. Fine. She grits her teeth. When the boat reaches shore, she takes Zach and leaves. I shrug. I'm no businessman. I know that. Playing with fire for profit like this, whatever anyone else thinks, it all comes down to one thing. I'm not afraid to fall, because I have the system behind me. And the timing just worked out. All that talk about masterful strategy and winning from a distance, pure nonsense. I'm just an ordinary guy. I've always believed in one thing. Leave the expert work to the experts and stay out of the way. Compared to Lily, a genuine finance professional, the only thing I can do is coast, enjoy myself, bring out the next level tech when needed, and then sit back and count the money. The details? Not my department. Let's go get a drink, I say. Rocky suddenly looks worried. Is it really okay sending her alone? Should we go check on things? Trust her. I grab Rocky by the arm and drag him straight into the farmhouse restaurant by Moon Lake. We eat and drink. By afternoon, Lily finally returns with Zach. She collapses into her seat, completely drained. She looks at the leftover food on the table and feels even worse. She ran around for hours without eating a single bite, and now she's back to eat scraps. What kind of boss is this? Done? I ask. Lily answers, barely any energy left. 9 million. 20 years. Push the price as low as it goes. They said they can't process it online. And honestly, they clearly don't want to let go of a big spender like you. They want it done fast. Said we can sign the contract this afternoon. Impressive. That's what a real professional looks like. I give her a thumbs up and call the owner over for more dishes. Lily's mood lifts just a little. She sees the thumbs up and can't help but smile. After lunch, I call a car, drop Rocky off at home first, then head straight to the county offices with the other three. Mr. Ethan, welcome. The man greeting us is middle-aged and balding. Deputy Commissioner Liu, the official in charge of attracting investment endorsement to the county. His face is warm and approachable. We sit down. After reviewing the agreement I sign, Deputy Commissioner Liu steps forward with a handshake and a smile. I heard you're leasing the reservoir to build a water plant. Anything the county can do to help? Just say the word. Here's my card. You're too kind. I shake his hand with a smile. The reservoir is just the first step. A water plant and a food and beverage processing facility will follow. We'll be counting on the county's support. Absolutely, no problem at all. Deputy Commissioner Liu beams. Being close to the provincial capital is both a blessing and a curse for Y County. A blessing because the commute for workers is short. A curse because the county itself can never quite break out of the shadow. Someone coming here to build a factory? That's nothing but good news, even if the business idea sounds completely out of left field. We say our goodbyes. I head back to the hotel with the others, take a photo of the contract, and send it to Director Norm. You're not pulling my leg here. $9 million for a reservoir lease? Director Norm sounds agitated. We agreed on something impressive sounding and hard to verify in value, right? This broken down reservoir can't justify anything. Forget about me. Not even God himself would loan you $80 million for this. The water quality is excellent. Drink it, live longer, I say. Save that pitch for someone else. Director Norm goes silent for a moment. Kid, I want to help, but this really doesn't work. I'm not bluffing. Look at the BioVital water enhancement technology in the system. Why is it called that? Why not just purified water or something like that? Because it's not spring water. It's not purified water. It's water that has been processed and enhanced to actively benefit the human body. Call it water if you want, but it's really closer to a health supplement. And a real one, not a fake. The system even has a note on it. Says it's almost as good as buying gene evolution serum. What does that mean? It means this thing actually has a fraction of the gene evolution serum's effects. Maybe less than 1%, maybe even less than 0.1%. But it works. The problem is the points haven't come in yet, so I can't produce a sample. The two of them go back and forth for over 10 minutes. Neither one convinces the other. Director Norm gives up, exhausted and frustrated. He wants to say something harsh, but can't quite bring himself to. Ethan has something on him. If the kid snaps under pressure and reports him, it's over. Good thing he arranged the bodyguards and assistant in advance. As long as Lily is watching the money, it probably won't go sideways. And if things start going under, he can pull the remaining loan, lock down the factory, and sell it off. Even if there's some loss, it won't wipe everything out. He tells himself, this is all just helping the kid. Besides, Preston will pull him through when the time comes. Even if the director's seat is gone, at least it beats prison. With that thought, Director Norm's face goes pale and hollow. He says, voice flat, I'll have Lily prepare all the documentation. The funds will be transferred within 3 days. You need to think this through carefully. If you can't pay it back, you're going to prison. Take care of yourself. The call ends. I shrug. I never waste time worrying about things that haven't happened. With next-level tech behind me, how could I lose? Meanwhile, Director Norm's expression shifts. Deep regret settles over him. He thinks for a moment, then calls Preston. Yeah, Preston, it's like I said. Yeah, I think I'm done for. That kid is something else, I'm telling you. He has zero business sense. Yeah, thank you, really. I swear it's true. This guy borrowed $80 million. And he's going to sell bottled water with it. Understood. We'll leave it at that. In a residential neighborhood in Yonge City, Preston hangs up, genuinely puzzled. He can't make sense of it. At the dining table nearby, an old man slowly sips his porridge. He looks over. Something wrong? Nothing major. Preston frowns and walks him through the whole story. I actually thought this guy was worth getting to know, but what is this move he just pulled? $80 million on bottled water? The national market has been locked up for years. Every major brand already has its grip on it. Even here in East River Province, Cloud Sea Group has the entire beverage market in a stranglehold. What he's doing? How is that any different from walking straight into his own grave? The old man slowly wipes his mouth and says without any urgency, when you get old, nothing surprises you anymore. A madman always has a madman's way of doing things. Winner takes all. Don't judge him yet. Anyone willing to make a move like this, as long as they're not an idiot, they've got something to back it up. Now we wait and see if that backing is worth your time. You're right, Grandpa. Preston nods. The next morning, after spending a night in Y County, the four of us board a high-speed train back to Yonge City. As Lily puts it, now that everything is in place, it's time to hire people. She doesn't know much about running a business herself. That's what professionals are for. I agree. So I only sleep until 10 in the morning. By the time we reach the job fair, it's already 11:30. Some of the companies are already packing up. Lily can't hold back. I called you how many times before you got up? And now look, it's basically over. How are we supposed to find anyone? Fate, I say. It's like sifting beans. The good ones don't just sell themselves cheap to the first company that shows up. I'm completely unbothered. The money hasn't landed yet. One day earlier or later makes no difference. With the system on my side, as long as the people we hire aren't idiots, they'll find a way to make something happen. Lily rents a booth. A makeshift sign goes up. I drop into a chair like I own the place. People walking by stop and take a second look. Eyes light up, but almost no one dares to step forward. There's an assistant, there are bodyguards, and the bodyguards look like stone guardians. This setup clearly isn't looking for ordinary workers, but there are always exceptions. A few minutes later, a scruffy, unshaven, burned-out-looking middle-aged man walks over and drops into the seat. What positions are you hiring for? Everything. What do you want to do? The man laughs at everything. Are you hiring a general manager? Think I'd fit the bill? I think you would. I pull out a contract and place it on the table. Sign it. The contract was prepared by Lily. The company itself was pushed through yesterday with Deputy Commissioner Lou's full green light. The man freezes. Lily stares at me in disbelief. Just like that? I smile. What? Scared? Nothing scares me, the man says, flipping open the contract. Starcy Foods and Beverages, founded yesterday, based in Y County. Looks like you're still in the setup phase. He pauses. So how much are you paying? I shake my head. I have no idea what you're worth. But you do. The salary for this position. Write it yourself. Be confident enough and $1 million a year is on the table. The man grins. Jay laughs. He's been through a brutal stretch. Failed in love, failed in his career, cooped up at home for 2 months. Didn't expect to walk outside and meet a madman. But madmen, they're not so bad. Everyone around him had written him off as a total failure. But this stranger in front of him, he's willing to trust him. Give him a shot. Something stirs in Jay's chest. Ambition. Maybe even a little gratitude. You won't regret this. Jay writes general manager under position and $800,000 a year under salary. He puts the pen down. That price for me is honestly a bargain. I'll prove my worth. Confident. I give him a thumbs up. Stand up. Here. You sit here. What do you think you're here for? Jay blinks. What else? Recruiting. I've never done recruiting before. Every expert has their specialty. You're the professional. So you do it. Jay feels another wave hit him. This time real warmth. The contract isn't even dry and already he's handing over the wheel. That's trust. He takes the recruiter's seat and says firmly, "Don't worry, boss. Since you trust me, just tell me what you need. Bodyguards? Leave the rest to me. Right now our company has the boss's assistant, the boss's bodyguards, and the boss's one and only employee, which is you, the general manager. Everything else, figure it out." Jay goes cold. He snaps back to reality. Every bit of that warm feeling, gone. Now he's just scared. Did he get played? Rich kid playing entrepreneur? Some shell company? This boss is young and completely laid back, and the first thing the new company hired was a pretty assistant and 2 bodyguards? Is this even a real business? This can't be some kind of joke, can it? I pat him on the shoulder. This is a chance to build yourself up, a chance to grow a company from absolutely nothing, and you should hold on to it. Once you've taken a company from zero to something real, even if you move on someday, that story will carry your resume for the rest of your life. Then why don't I just start my own company? Jay fires back instinctively. Do you have the money? I ask. That lands. Silence. Total shutdown. Jay has nothing. Got it, I say. We're going to grab food. We'll bring something back for you. I grin and head off with Lily and the others. Jay grips his fist. Why the hell did I feel touched by that? This boss is something else. Fine. Let's see how this plays out. There's no non-disclosure agreement, no non-compete clause, no penalty fee. If things go sideways, he can just walk. We leave the job fair and find a hot pot place. All 4 of us sit down. The signature dishes, ordered without hesitation. This place is upscale. One meal, easily 2,000 or 3,000. Compared to how things used to be, spending money like water is basically my new normal. I sit with that for a moment. Whether it's the original soul before the awakening or the life before that, neither version of me ever lived like this. The past life was nothing but work, grinding every day just to scrape together enough to pay the mortgage. And in this life, I was a total simp. 9 to 9, 6 days a week. Worked myself half to death. Not a single good day lived. So what do you call this now? Revenge spending. And it's not just because I have money. I've been close to death twice now. I've seen through a lot. Everything else is just noise. Maybe living for right now, leaving no regrets. That's what's real. In this life, system or no system, I've decided to live free. But through Lily's eyes, everything I do seems a little strange. After years around all kinds of people, Lily has a feeling she can't quite put into words. She grew up comfortable, exposed to all sorts of people early on, especially with her dad constantly lecturing her. It made her mature fast. She's always been confident, and no matter who she's dealing with, she can usually see right through them. But with me, she's lost. If you told her that pulling off that whole play with a mistaken transfer was some kind of genius move, snagging tens of millions through sheer boldness, then the mental pressure he carried through that process must have been just as extraordinary. That alone proves he is someone with real skill and real intelligence, a massive nerve and fearless guts, someone who breaks every rule and holds nothing sacred. When someone like that gets power, shouldn't he be seizing control of everything, snowballing fast, building towards something big? Lily has heard stories like this. From the gray market world, from the early rise of certain companies, there are always people like that, and without exception, they all move fast by any means necessary. Paranoid, suspicious of everyone. So why is Ethan so different? He gets the money and immediately takes out a massive loan. Okay, that's normal enough. Borrowing to grow is standard playbook. But then he goes and does bottled water. Completely baffling. And the most baffling part of all, he wants nothing to do with running it. He sent her to handle the Y County deal yesterday. Today at the job fair, he hands a total stranger a general manager contract within minutes and lets that person run the hiring. No fear of being sidelined. No worry about being scammed. Lily understands him less and less. What's your dream? She finally asks. Dream? I laugh. When a boss talks talks dreams to employees, that's selling hot air. So what does it mean when you're asking the boss about his dreams? Are you trying to sell me something? That's not what I mean, Lily says. What I mean is, I genuinely can't figure you out these past 2 days. What are you actually trying to do? What I want is actually pretty simple. Seeing how serious she is, I dropped the jokes. Before any of this happened, my dream was just to have my own place. A car, some savings, a life that doesn't suck. But things are different now. Different how? Lily asks. Zach and Buck turn to look at me too. They know what I've pulled off. They're impressed and curious about where someone who just got rich overnight is planning to go. They relate to the basics deeply. A house, a car, some savings. That's the dream for most people. Now I have 3 dreams. I hold up 3 fingers. First, live comfortably. Never lose sleep over money again. All 3 nod. Realistic, relatable. Second, I want to see what's at the top. Technology has come so far and money can do almost anything these days. But there are still things current technology can't touch. So I'm getting into it myself. I'm going to spark a tech revolution, create something that matters, and push human progress forward. The 3 of them hesitate slightly, but eventually nod. It sounds a little over the top, borderline delusional even. But what if he means it? The man already worked on nuclear fusion. Selling water while chasing next level tech doesn't actually sound that crazy. And the third? Lily asks. I grew up hearing this saying, if every person in the country lent me $1, I'd be a billionaire. Sound familiar? All 3 nod. Everyone's heard that one. So what does that have to do with your dream? My third dream is to owe money, I say with a grin, the system already in mind. Imagine if everyone in this country, everyone in the world, was my creditor. Doesn't that sound fascinating? The 3 of them stare at each other. Fascinating? Not even slightly. And just thinking about it is crushing. Especially for Zach and Buck. Both grew up with nothing. They've seen too many people broken by debt. When no one responds, I shake my head slowly. They just haven't owed enough. Like that big company from my past life. The more you owe, the better you live. Everything flips past a point. A little debt is pressure. And suddenly it's everyone else who's under pressure. When your debt is large enough to bring everything down with you, everyone will work to keep you standing. Because your collapse would be a financial nuclear bomb. It would destroy everything. And that's just debt alone. Now add next level tech. Owe a fortune. And at the same time keep making money at an insane rate. And this feast will sweep through everything. Anyone who tries to get in the way, I won't even need to lift a finger. My creditors will tear them apart. Look past the surface. It sounds absurd, but reality is even more absurd. The hot pot arrives. Everyone digs in. Expensive things basically have no flaws other than being expensive. Meal done. We ask the server to pack up some extra ingredients to go. Buck steps up and carries everything. The 4 of us head back toward the job fair. It's not far, just across the street, a few hundred meters at most. When we arrive, Jay is already running a training session for a crowd of people. We are a startup. Everything needs to be built from the ground up. The process will be tough, no question about that. But anyone who stays will be a founding member. Stop thinking about what the company can give you. Start thinking about what you can build for it. We are a food and beverage company. Sales channels are the core of everything. Every single one of you has the background for this. That's why I want you here. Big companies? Sure, they sound great. But are they really? The competition is brutal. Promotions are slow, raises are rare. Small companies? Not great either. Bad environment, low pay, and nearly impossible sales targets. So what kind of company is actually the best for people like us? A startup. In the early stage, the boss is still throwing money around. Promotions come fast. Yes, the competition is fierce. But making money is actually simple. Why? Because even if you can't close deals outside, you can still earn from the boss. Think about it carefully. If the company fails, that's not your problem. The product wasn't competitive. If the boss fails, that's on his vision, his choices. What do we lose? Nothing. So listen to me, everyone. Sign the contract, put in the work, do well, and we all win big. Do okay, and we still come out ahead. As your general manager, I stand on the same side as every one of you. The energy in the room shifts. People who were on the fence are no longer hesitating. No matter how you look at it, there's nothing to lose. He's making real sense. If even the general manager is saying this, what are we waiting for? Let's go, take a shot. Pass me a contract too. Behind them, Lily and the others watch, completely speechless. Is this how you run a hiring session? Man, we brought you here to sell water, not run an MLM. What a talent. I shake my head in admiration. Picked a general manager at random and ended up with an MLM genius. Those who think, lead. Those who grind, follow. No wonder this guy was so sharp and pushy right from the start. He had the nerve to ask for the general manager spot outright. Clearly someone who knows how to play the game and use his head. Boss. Jay turns around, visibly awkward, sweat forming on his forehead. Oh no. Did the boss just hear all of that? Am I really about to get fired on my first day? You said it well. I pat Jay on the shoulder. You really are a genius. Relax. No hard feelings. Now eat. I take the stack of takeout boxes from Buck and set them on the table. I turn to Lily. Go help them sort the contracts. Then I pull Jay down to sit. Jay looks at the spread in front of him and feels suddenly that this boss actually gives a damn about him. Boss, what do you need from us next? I glance at the group signing contracts. How's the hiring looking? Enough to get the company running. The floor workers will be recruited in Y County. But there's one critical issue. Jay pauses. I've worked as a professional manager before. Nothing famous, but I've studied the food and beverage space. The core of this industry is R&D, not management or sales. Those are actually the easier parts. For a startup, I can cover most things myself. Procurement, manufacturing, distribution. We can build those teams gradually or promote from within. Sales is manageable too. This group all has sales backgrounds, so putting together a basic team to get started is doable. The real question is R&D. Does this company actually have a product? How much are we planning to invest in development? Jay looks at me directly. This matters a lot. Anyone serious about this industry has to have a core technology, a proprietary formula, before they ever get started. From Jay's perspective, I should be no different. But you never know. What if this boss is just charging in blind? Nothing in hand, no plan. Then it's all over. The hiring would be wasted, the contracts meaningless, and Jay himself would be walking out the door. Relax. I nod. We have a formula, a product unlike anything else on the market. Massive commercial value. You can count on that. Right now, the focus is building the factory, getting the custom production line, and sourcing raw materials. Jay visibly relaxes and smiles. That part's easy. I looked it up. The factory site is in Human Village, Y County. The location is surrounded by mountains and water. It's actually where Y County sources most of its construction materials. Transportation is straightforward. Once the contractor is locked in, we can have it up in under 2 weeks. That fast? I'm surprised. Not exactly, Jay says, shaking his head. What goes up first is the factory floor itself. Prefabricated steel structure, pretty simple. The real time goes into leveling the ground, laying out the site, putting up the perimeter wall. All in all, push hard, and we can be operational in 2 weeks. But the staff quarters and the office buildings will take longer. Even though our scale is small, just a few 3 to 5 story buildings. That's still a few months minimum. Good. I nod. You're the general manager. I'm giving you full authority. Build this beverage factory from scratch. Do it well and promotions will take care of themselves. This whole operation is just a small experiment for me. If you have what it takes, I'll give you a much bigger stage down the road. Something stirs in Jay. A theory starts forming. Why is this boss so relaxed about everything? Why does he seem so completely unbothered? It has to be rich family money or serious connections behind the scenes. This company looks like a hobby project on the surface, and it very well might actually be one. But the boss can afford to play. Jay can't. He needs to deliver. If he performs well, Jay takes a deep breath. The fire inside him ignites. Boss, don't worry. Big or small, I'll handle every single thing clean and clear. Just watch what I do. Damn. I glance at him, mildly surprised. This guy is something else. But that's a good thing. I think it over, then say, then I'll leave the rest to you. Tomorrow, take the team to Y County. Do what needs to be done. I'm putting $50 million on the table. Next month, I want to see a factory standing and a full canning line ready to go. Consider it done. $50 million just for the factory and the production line. This isn't a small operation anymore. If even a hobby project goes this big, what kind of backing does this boss actually have? What kind of resources is he sitting on? Jay feels the excitement building. Submit receipts for everything. Take it straight to her. I point to Lily. Jay nods immediately. Yes, boss. He jumps up and gets Lily's contact information. Lily can tell Jay is sizing things up, maybe even looking for an angle. But the loan situation is too tangled to explain, and it can't be made public, so she says nothing. Once the business is done, I take everyone and leave. Everything else gets handed off to Jay. The next day, when Jay takes the team to Y County, I don't even see them off. Just a few words on the phone. 2 days later, the $80 million loan hits the account. Lily handled every step. I showed up once at the end to sign. A few more days pass. Finally, on the night of June 30th, in the rental apartment, I put down my phone and head to the bedroom. In the living room, Zach and Buck exchange a look. Something feels off. They've been with me for weeks now. I'm nothing like a rich man. More like an ordinary guy who just happens to spend more on food. Everything else is the same. Still in this rental apartment. No car. It's as if the desire for things just isn't there. And on most days he's exactly like them. Lying around scrolling his phone, watching videos, never sleeping before midnight, never waking before noon. He's even dragged 2 former special ops soldiers into his lazy lifestyle. Their sleep schedules are a complete mess now. What they don't know is, I'm not skipping the car and apartment because I don't want them. The good ones are out of reach. The cheap ones aren't worth the hassle. The scrolling and gaming, that's just for me. Staying up late is nothing new. Tonight I'm heading to bed early for one reason. The time has come. The points are about to arrive. 8,000 points. The foundation for everything. Ding. A chime sounds in my mind. A line of text appears. Monthly settlement begins. Settlement complete. Congratulations, player. Current debt, 80 million. Points awarded, 8,000. Finally, I break into a grin. I open the exchange store, filter for the cheapest technology, select the BioVital water enhancement technology, and hit redeem. Exchange successful, 5,000 points deducted. Remaining balance, 3,000 points. A wave of data floods into my mind, like knowledge I was simply born with. The data would mean nothing to an ordinary person. But the moment I focus on it, everything becomes clear. Just as I suspected, the BioVital water enhancement technology is not simply about purifying water. Plain water purification has no real value. This is pure next-level tech. According to what's now in my head, what's called BioVital water is actually the standard drinking water technology used by ordinary people in the Star River era. In that era, humanity has colonized the stars. Water has become a scarce resource. There are countless planets throughout the universe, but few contain fresh water. Planets with water safe for human consumption are even rarer. And so the BioVital water enhancement technology technology was born. The water it produces is not simple fresh water or purified water. It starts with purification, then uses a proprietary formula to blend hundreds of trace elements into the water, infusing it with energy and self-sustaining bioenergy microbes. The core of it all is those bioenergy microbes. The microbes reproduce on their own. They create a self-sustaining cycle in the water, keeping it fresh even if stored on a warship for decades or centuries. And the longer it sits, the more the microbes evolve and optimize themselves. The water grows sweeter over time. The bioenergy it contains keeps building. Simply put, you feed the microbes energy to grow them. The microbes reproduce, die, and in doing so generate bioenergy. And that energy is absorbed perfectly by the human body. And it's not just the dead microbes. The living ones benefit the body too. They enter the body and optimize the body's water content from the inside, forming an internal cycle that continuously delivers small amounts of bioenergy, slowing the rate of cell division, giving a slight boost to human lifespan. And when bioenergy is fully replenished, dramatically increasing a person's overall vitality. The only downside is this: once the bioenergy microbes enter the human body, they can't survive the internal temperature. Within a few hours, they die completely. In short, these microbes handle cold just fine. They can survive in ice. But once the temperature exceeds 35 degrees Celsius, they begin to die. This stuff is incredible. My eyes light up. Pure next level tech. The only real weakness: heat kills them. Cold chain storage and transport are a must, but compared to everything it offers, that's nothing. Higher cost, just charge a higher price. I pull out my phone and start searching for the raw materials needed. All common materials. The only real challenge is cultivating the original microbe colony. I dial. A soft, groggy voice answers. Lily, clearly half asleep. Asleep? Already? Oh, boss, what do you need? She pulls herself together. I need to rent a biolab for a specialized microbe cultivation project. Get it sorted. I need it by tomorrow. I say it straight. No room for discussion. Cultivating the original microbe colony will take about a week. The factory at Moon Lake should be ready for initial use in roughly the same time. In other words, the timing is perfect. Oh, come on. Before the words are even out of my mouth, the call is dead. Lily grabs her own head with both hands, silently screaming. A knock at the door. Something wrong? Nothing. Lily opens the door in her pajamas. Her dad just got home from work. She pours him a glass of water and says flatly, "My boss just decides things on the spot. Now he wants me to rent him a biolab. For some kind of special microbe cultivation, I studied finance. Where am I supposed to find a biolab? Then quit," Owen says, rubbing his temples. He tosses the files in his hand onto the table and takes the glass she's offering. And what was Director Norm thinking, sending you to be someone's assistant? What was going through his head? I'll have my contact give the guy a word. Don't. Lily shakes her head. I don't want people talking about me. That guy, he's a nightmare to work for, honestly, but he actually treats his people well. Good food, good drinks, no weird office politics. He just makes random decisions out of nowhere. Anyway, I'll ask my contact tomorrow. Owen sets down the glass. East River Province isn't exactly a research hub. Labs are hard to come by. Finding one on short notice is nearly impossible. And those facilities? You can't just walk in and rent one. Let my contact look into it. Fine. Lily thinks it over and nods. I guess that's the best option. By the way, I never actually asked you, what kind of project is he running? Why would he need a biolab? Owen calls from the bathroom, brushing his teeth, genuinely puzzled. Selling bottled water. Lily shrugs. Who knows what he's up to now? Maybe adding a probiotic drink line on the side. Owen stops brushing. Even with all his experience, he's a little lost. He already went up against Cloud Sea Group. And now he wants to do the same thing? Is he out of his mind? What kind of grudge? You're asking me, I have no idea. Lily rolls her eyes. Then she thinks for a second and adds, something about Felix from Cloud Sea Group stealing his ex-girlfriend. Felix? From the Rex family? Owen frowns. Of course. Like father, like son. Ever since the old man of the Rex family passed, that family has been going downhill with every generation. The next morning I do something rare. I'm up early. I follow Lily to the lab, a proper professional biolab. Almost everything I need is already here. What's missing can be ordered right away. Inside the lab, after countless rounds of mixing and 17 different fermentation processes, the culture medium capable of cultivating the original microbe colony is finally ready. By the time everything is done, it's already evening. I carefully place the culture medium in a low-temperature environment and wait for the bioenergy microbes to emerge. These microbes are a mutated, or rather, evolved, strain cultivated from multiple specialized microbes found in both the human body and animals. I've spent the entire day on this, and half of it was on cultivation and separation. These microbes can't simply be grown on their own. They have to be separated from ordinary microbes using a specialized method. Otherwise, the result is harmful, not helpful. Only once the separation is clean can they be placed in the culture medium for large-scale growth, until the colony multiplies massively and enters self-sustaining circulation. That's when it's truly done. I leave specific instructions with the lab staff before finally leaving with the others, starving. As we step out through the lab doors, Lily realizes she's more exhausted than ever. She thought this was all some kind of joke. Turns out I actually know what I'm doing. Deeply professional enough to leave the lab's own staff in shock. Anything else, boss? If not, I'm calling it a day. I rub my head. No rush. Let's eat first. Also, contact Jay. We need a large-scale purification system. Our water has to meet sterile-grade standards. Got it. Anything else? Order 20 refrigerated trucks, hire drivers, and tell Jay, The canning process also needs to hit sterile grade. Time is tight. He'll have to push hard. Understood. A week passes quickly. Every single day I make a trip to the lab to check on the microbe colony. Then one morning the colony begins rapidly multiplying and dying. The original microbe colony has entered self-sustaining circulation. I'm overjoyed. I separate a portion, then blend it with the sterile water and trace elements I prepared early that morning. I make sure the sterile water contains enough base material and energy, then introduce a tiny amount of the separated microbe colony. After a full 3 hours of monitoring, the microbes show no abnormalities whatsoever. With the material energy supply in place, they begin multiplying fast. I finally exhale. Done. A full week of work, and it's finally complete. I pour the water into a sterile container and walk out of the lab smiling. Did it work? Lily asks. Zach and Buck are eager too. They've been dying to know what I've actually been building. Done. Congrats. Even without knowing what I was doing, Lily offers the word. Then she continues. Jay called, the factory's ready to go. He's asking when you want to come check it out. Right now, my heart is racing. After all this work, I can't wait to close the loop. All I need is to get the culture medium to Y County, load in the trace elements, and the microbes will multiply fast. Zach, go get the culture medium. Stay on alert the entire time. Do not lose it. Keep the temperature-controlled box powered at all times. Yes, boss. Buck, get us a car. We're leaving now. On it, boss. Both move immediately. Lily looks curiously at the sterile container in my hands. Boss, is this a probiotic? Technically, it's a bioxenomicrobe. I pause to think. This is a completely new strain. I've never actually thought about what to call it. Now that I do, just calling it bioenergy microbe doesn't quite work. It sounds a little too much like something out of a zombie movie. People might be scared to drink it. Calling it just xenomicrobe could work, but does it sound premium enough? I think it over, then decide to combine both. Bioxenomicrobe. Buck and Zach are ready. We get in the car and head out. In Y County, right alongside Moon Lake, the factory stands completed. Only a few smaller buildings are still under construction. Jay got word we were coming and had the whole place cleaned up. By the time we arrive, the entire factory looks brand new. I follow Jay inside the main building. Jay talks as we walk. Boss, according to the design plans, there are 2 large canning halls. Both have been converted to sterile spec per your instructions. That added a lot to the cost. On top of that, we have the base liquid production hall, the sterile water manufacturing and delivery hall, and we added a separate sterilization hall, dedicated entirely to sanitizing all canning containers. Because we were so rushed, custom-built equipment wasn't an option. We had contractors come in and retrofit everything on site. It's basically done now, ready for final inspection today. At this point, Jay looks genuinely puzzled. Boss, we're a food and beverage company. What do we need all this for? I followed your instructions, no question, but I genuinely don't understand. This didn't just triple the cost. It's completely overkill. I'm not even sure we can hit these standards in practice. What exactly are we producing? This. I place the sterile container, the size of a large thermos, in Jay's hands. Everyone around us looks confused. I explain, we were never selling spring water. You all had the wrong idea. What we're selling is a health product. Jay is stunned. Boss, you're not serious? We're registered as a food and beverage company. We don't have that license. The others are confused too. We don't need one, I say with a smile. We sell it as spring water, just at a higher price. That lands like a grenade. Everyone is completely lost. So it's still just water? Nobody can follow the logic. But Jay's eyes suddenly light up. I get it. You're going for a gimmick, right? Market it as sterile wellness water. Sell it under the health label, but it's literally just water. Pure profit. Boss, you're the real one. How cold-blooded can you get? The others look at me with the same strange stare. I press my palm to my forehead. You have no idea what you're talking about. Just as I say it, we all step into the base liquid production hall. 2 enormous storage tanks stand inside. I smile with satisfaction. All I need to do is fill the tanks with sterile water, load in the trace elements, and the microbes will multiply rapidly. From there, an automated system blends them at a ratio of 10,000 to 1 with sterile purified water, adds another round of trace elements to the purified water, and the final product is complete. The contractor's engineers are still here, running tests. I pay them extra to fine-tune things however they see fit. Once done, the work is officially finished. I gather Jay and the others, and open the sterile container. Thanks to the built-in temperature regulation, the microbes inside have been multiplying for hours. This first batch is ready. I have Buck grab some paper cups and pour around for everyone. This is our product. Try it. Then you'll understand. Silence falls over the room. An awkward silence. Lily holds her cup and hesitates. Buck and Zach do too. They know exactly what's in this. There are microbes in there. Who in their right mind would drink that? Sure, they were called beneficial, but there's been no official testing, no market certification. If something goes wrong after drinking it, they're done. But Jay and his 2 junior staff members have no idea what's inside. Hearing it's the company product, they down it without hesitation. Jay smacks his lips. With Lily, Zach, and Buck watching in quiet amazement, Jay runs his tongue over his lips. There's a sweetness to it, not like sugar. More like a clean, lingering aftertaste that doesn't get heavy. It's still water at the end of the day, but it just tastes better than tap water. The young staff member beside him nods. No off smell. Aside from that slight aftertaste, no flavor at all. Of course there isn't. This is sterile, purified water, filtered and sanitized multiple times, completely free of impurities. Pure water. Without the trace elements blended in, even that aftertaste wouldn't exist. I drink mine down and wait quietly. A few minutes later, something shifts in my body. Mind clear, body light. Focus sharpened, a subtle sense of strength returning, the fatigue from before, gone. Whoa. Jay feels it too now. I feel cool down from the inside, sharp, clear-headed, and my whole body feels strong. It's subtle, but it's real. Then his expression shifts. Something crosses his mind. He snaps his eyes to me. This isn't something illegal, is it? You can't blame him for jumping there. Effects this noticeable. The only legal thing that comes close is adrenaline. Normal health supplements are basically a scam. Forget whether they even work. Even if they do, you need weeks of use before you feel anything. But this company product, one sip, a few minutes, and you feel it. If that's not something illegal, then what is? Jay is terrified. The two young staff members are sweating now too. No way. We took a job and haven't even gotten our first paycheck and now we're drug dealers? What a way to go. Meanwhile, Lily, Zach, and Buck, hearing just how intense the effects are, take a brief moment, then drink it down. After all, I drank it myself. If anyone would worry about it, it'd be them. But they trust what they've seen. These past weeks, they've watched everything firsthand. Within minutes of drinking, the effects arrive. All three light up. They stare at me, clearly stunned. I catch Jay's anxious look and can't help but laugh. This is our product. It is absolutely not illegal. This comes from my own research. I discovered a mutated, or rather evolved, strain of microbe by accident. This strain has the ability to absorb trace elements, convert their energy, and produce bioenergy. Bioenergy isn't a fuel source. It's energy the human body actually needs. Think of it as vitality, the force behind physical and mental performance. Normally, the body generates energy through multiple organs working together, but bioenergy bypasses all of that. It goes straight in. Simply put, it replenishes energy, optimizes the body's internal hydration, and temporarily enhances physical performance. Not a stimulant, a genuine boost. For real? Jay asks sharply. For real. So forget spring water. This changes everything. Jay starts pacing, electric with excitement. If someone used a lot of this, could they become superhuman? What if the microbes built up in massive quantities inside the body? Wouldn't that not only extend life but potentially replace organ function altogether? Could it cure any disease? Keep a dying person alive indefinitely? Could it supply the energy that cancer cells need? Everyone around listens to Jay spiral, and their imaginations run wild too. Everyone looks at me, breathless with excitement. Even one of those things. Just one. And this would shake the entire world. Lily, Zach, and Buck can't help but think back to something I said just a few days ago. He was going to start a tech revolution. Without question, if this product delivers even a fraction of that potential, then I really will have ignited a revolution in biotech. But unfortunately, I shake my head. The gene evolution serum is definitely connected to this, but there's no comparison. This product falls so far short of the serum it's not even close. This is only one of the foundational components the gene evolution serum requires. In the exchange store, the gene evolution serum is priced astronomically, and the technology packed inside it is nothing like the BioVital water enhancement technology. Superhuman? Not happening. Not to mention, the human body has its own limits. Don't even think about using this to boost your physical strength. No matter how much you drink, the effect stays the same, it just lasts longer. Now, if the bacterial colony builds up in large quantities inside the human body, in theory, it could extend your lifespan. But that's simply not possible. The colony requires cold storage. Above 95 degrees Fahrenheit, it starts dying. Inside the human body, it survives no more than 4 hours. And if you're running a fever, that window shrinks even further. That said, a small degree of life extension is achievable. Drink 6 shots a day to keep the colony alive in your system at all times. And you won't just stay sharp and energized. Your immune system gets a real boost too. It fights off illness. As the body's internal environment keeps improving, your theoretical lifespan naturally extends, and your overall constitution improves, pulling you out of that gray zone between healthy and sick. Curing diseases? Forget it. It can maximize the effectiveness of medication, but it cannot directly cure illness. You have to understand, the bioenergy this thing provides can only play a supporting role. It cannot directly intervene in disease. For someone on the verge of death, it barely does anything, maybe buys a little time, but it won't change the outcome. And giving it to a cancer patient? You'd just be feeding the cancer cells. What were you thinking? That's just accelerating cell division. I shake my head. Finally, I wrap it up. This thing can't change the world, but it absolutely can shake it. Its value is enormous, just not as insane as you're imagining. That's enough. Jay rubs his hands together, buzzing with excitement. More than enough. Enough to crush every competitor out there. The market for this is massive. Even if our costs are high, even if our price point puts us out of reach for the average buyer, that's still more than enough to make you the richest man alive, boss. With just this one product. Zach can't help himself. Okay, this stuff is incredible, but richest man alive? Come on, that's a stretch. Just from this one thing? Jay fires back, fired up. You have no idea what this is worth. For the entire beverage and health supplement market, this is a whole different league. It will shatter every competitor's dreams. The room erupts. Everyone is stirred up, buzzing with energy that refuses to settle. Jay's heart is pounding. He had lost in love and in business, and yet right now he feels the peak of his life rushing toward him. Forget about him. Even a pig, sitting in the general manager's chair, riding a product this extraordinary, could build a name for itself, become a nationally recognized executive. The other staff can practically smell the money. Zach and Buck quietly breathe a sigh of relief. Surveillance was never their strong suit, especially not when I treat them this well. Now, since Ethan's business is clearly going to succeed, they can go back to doing what they do best, being bodyguards. As for Lily, she's completely stunned. She stares at me, everything feeling over the top, like a dream. This reckless playing with fire jerk, Is he really about to hit a massive breakthrough? 80 million in loans had seemed absurd to her before. But now, looking at the full picture, I'm the one who's absurd. The potential returns from this product, and the impact it could have on the entire market, Lily runs the numbers in her head. She has to admit, 80 million is nothing. Once this product goes public and hits shelves, forget 80 million, even 800 million, 8 billion, there would be no shortage of investors lining up. At this rate, her job as his assistant won't last long. Thinking that, strangely, she doesn't feel relieved. Instead, there's a quiet, hollow feeling. Boss, when do we start production? Jay asks. The sooner the better, I say, pointing to the storage tanks along the river. I'll start culturing the bacterial colony this afternoon. One night is all it takes. We can fire things up first thing tomorrow morning. I need a batch of product to secure investment. We can also start pushing it into the market, run some ads, whatever's needed. I'll leave the details to you. In 3 days, I want to see our product out there. Never forget, debt is the #1 driving force behind cutting-edge innovation. Consider it done. Jay is pumped. He pulls 2 people forward. Boss, let me introduce you. This is Marcus, 30 years old, full of drive. He's been all in on company operations lately and has a real knack for management. Most importantly, after spending the past few days learning from the contractor's engineers, he knows our facility inside and out. I'd like to promote him temporarily to head up the bottling facility, put him in charge of both bottling lines. Our setup is fully automated, so we don't need a huge headcount. I've already got contacts with several staffing agencies in Wake County. We'll bring in some temp workers to start. Once the company gets more structured, we'll set up a proper HR department, promote from within and recruit externally. And this is Vincent, 28, a professional in sales handling the marketing and sales department. Hardworking, proactive, did extensive market research, though it's a shame, because clearly none of that research is relevant anymore. Both men are visibly nervous. In the past, they had options. They could walk, but now everything is different. The chance to strike it big is right in front of them. If they blow this, they'll have missed the most important opportunity of their lives. They're about to speak up, but I wave a hand. I trust they'll get it done. Right now, the real issue is the product name, packaging design, and pricing. Feel free to speak your mind. Everyone share your thoughts. The cost of this thing, Jay hesitates. I think for a moment, and decide not to give a straight number. Instead, I say, it requires cold storage. In winter, that's manageable, but right now it's summer. At room temperature, shelf life depends entirely on the weather. So setting aside production costs, the storage costs alone are significant. So boss, what price range are you thinking? Jay asks. If it were you, how much per bottle would feel worth it to you? I ask. Honestly, with effects this incredible, I'd buy it regularly at $5 a bottle, but go much higher and I'd have to stop, not because it's not worth it, but because I couldn't afford it. For me, $3. 3 is way too cheap. A cup of coffee costs more than that. That's exactly why I don't drink coffee. Everyone starts talking over each other. I can see the pattern clearly now. Everyone thinks it's worth it, but their own wallets are setting the ceiling. Bottom line, the product is great, but buying it regularly? Out of reach. So the pricing is a real challenge. For someone broke, even $1 is too much. For someone loaded, sell it at 100 and they still won't flinch. Normally the fix is simple. Just define your target market. But this product is different. The target market here is everyone. What do you think? I look over at Lily. Lily thinks for a moment. I think you're all overthinking this. Pricing and packaging don't need to be separate problems. I have 2 solutions. First, small, medium, large, extra large. Just set different prices for different sizes. Like you said, the effect doesn't change much regardless of how much you drink. So there's no need for a one-size-fits-all format. That works. Everyone lights up. And the second solution? I ask. Even simpler, Lily says, a little sheepish. You've all gotten vaccines, right? You know those tiny glass vials they come in? You snap them open, shaped kind of like a rifle cartridge. They're called ampules. Each one holds anywhere from 1 to 25 milliliters. I think that packaging works perfectly. Of course, the glass version needs to be flame sealed, which obviously won't work for us. But there's a plastic version. We can get the right machines, set up a full blow-fill seal line. From what I know, the process itself produces a sterile product. It saves money, saves hassle, and gives us much better pricing flexibility. The room goes dead silent. Everyone stares at Lily. Then Jay slaps his hands together. How did I not think of that? We're selling the effect, not the water itself. So the volume per bottle is irrelevant. What matters is the effect. Following Lily's logic, each ampule holds a max of 25 milliliters, while a regular water bottle is 500 milliliters. That's 20 ampules per bottle's worth, and if each ampule sells for $3, that's $60 total. Genius. I give a thumbs up. Lily, I had no idea you were this sharp. Finance's loss is our gain. Welcome to the dark side. This is brilliant. It solves both the pricing and the packaging in one shot. Keep it up. When I'm rich, I'll give you a fat bonus. But what about the bottling equipment we already set up? Is that wasted? I ask. Not at all. Marcus steps in. Boss, since the final packaging hadn't been confirmed yet, part of the bottling line is still not fully assembled. Right now it only has the basic fill nozzles. We can contact the contractor and pay to have it modified. How long will that take? Not sure, but that company handles modifications all the time. They know this inside out. If we rush it, 3 days tops. They haven't left yet. I can go ask them right now. Go! Marcus takes off. Everyone showers Lily with praise. The poor girl goes bright red. The only one in the room who isn't celebrating is Vincent, the sales lead. He had thought through every possible sales strategy, every type of packaging, whether sleek and premium or rough and budget. He had a plan for all of it, but he had never once considered how to sell a product packaged like medicine. And then there was the cold storage requirement, and the insane price point. Putting it on a regular grocery shelf? Impossible. It would have to live in a fridge. And at first glance, this product seemed to only appeal to young people, but even most young people wouldn't buy it. Only someone who's already drunk would reach for it. So to open the market, it seemed like only bars and clubs made sense. Vincent's mind goes there immediately. A dim nightclub, music pounding, bodies pressed together on the dance floor, and he's crouched in a dark corner with his crew. Psst, good stuff. Want one? He shudders violently. That's terrifying. That sounds exactly like dealing contraband. He'd get arrested. He's spiraling with anxiety, but no one around him seems to share his concern. The rest of us are already deep into brainstorming the product name. For a mainstream product, you could go in so many directions. Something classic and cultural, like a traditional tea brand, or something futuristic, like an electrolyte drink. But for a tiny ampule like this, what name actually fits? Everyone is stuck. Lily, still riding her moment in the spotlight and eager to impress, speaks up. I think BioVital works perfectly. It's futuristic, clean, sparks the imagination, and sticks in your head. I like it, I nod after mulling it over. Jay thinks it through. But what category does it fall under? Health supplement? Mineral water? Neither quite fits. The first risks false advertising claims, and calling this tiny thing mineral water would just be a joke. Let's add a few more words, I say after thinking. Call it BioVital Shot for oral use. Whoa, doesn't shot imply it's injectable? That's misleading, boss. Jay chimes in. Shot is a medical term. We're just selling water. You're both wrong. Lily's eyes light up. Calling it a shot doesn't mean it has to be a drug. Our packaging is fully sterile. It actually meets injection grade standards. And if someone decides they'd rather inject it than drink it, you can't stop them. Sure, it might be a little misleading, but as long as nothing goes wrong, nobody's going to care. Vincent, standing nearby, is shaking. He can feel everything heading exactly in the direction of his nightmare. We're definitely getting arrested. With the packaging and name locked in, we move to pricing. The final price is set at $30 per ampule. I don't obsess over the exact number, but like Jay said, a great product needs a great price. Even if you drop it later, starting strong beats starting cheap. Everyone agrees. Marcus comes back with the engineers in tow. After a joint inspection and after I sweeten the deal, the contractor says they don't need 3 days. They'll draw up the plans immediately, rush the work overnight, deliver everything first thing tomorrow morning, and have it fully welded by noon. For that, I throw in an extra $300,000. Both sides are happy. We grab lunch together, then get to work on culturing the bacterial colony. As night falls, the 2 massive storage tanks in the Riverside facility are filled to the brim with sterile water. Trace minerals have been loaded in, and the original bacterial starter has been introduced. Now we just wait. By morning, after a full night of reproduction, the colony will have packed itself into every corner of the tank. During this time, Jay is still a little worried. He asks me whether the bacterial colony can be replicated, whether someone could cultivate it on their own and start copying our product. I think it over carefully before answering. The colony's reproduction depends entirely on the trace minerals. Without them, the colony can survive for a while, but once the minerals run out, it dies off. In theory, the longer the colony reproduces, the more bioenergy it generates. But there's one condition: enough trace minerals. In other words, unless someone gets the trace mineral formula from me, copying this product isn't impossible, but it would take years of trial and error. With current human technology, 10 years at minimum before anyone gets close. And by then, this won't even matter anymore. That night, we all sleep in the temporary quarters set up inside the facility. Next morning, trucks roll in and the contractor's engineers storm into both bottling lines with their crew. All the supplies Jay ordered have arrived as well. 3 staffing agencies deliver over 300 workers. Under Jay's direction, with a dozen staff members coordinating, they begin unloading supplies and running machine setup and training. By late morning, more than 20 refrigerated trucks pull up. The newly hired drivers are rounded up for a briefing. At noon, boxed lunches arrive. Everyone scarfs it down and starts the inspection. The contractor declares the work flawless. Find a flaw if you can, and backs it with a 3-year service guarantee. Once they leave, I go check on the colony's growth and give the green light to start production. The whole process runs like clockwork. By evening, the first batch is finished. I turn a vacuum-sealed silver foil pouch over in my hands, examining it. The silvery foil is pulled tight and vacuumed, the surface clean and minimal, a bold line of text printed at the top: BioVital Shot for oral use, 25 milliliters per unit. The back is packed with fine print, origin, company name, production license code, and more. The most prominent section is the nutrition facts panel. Since this is essentially sterile purified water, there's nothing in it besides the special bacterial colony and trace minerals, so the entire panel is blank per 100 milliliters. Then comes the expiration notice. Above 95 degrees Fahrenheit, shelf life is 4 hours. Below 95 degrees, shelf life is 3 years, because the trace minerals inside can sustain the colony for just over 3 years. Last are the usage instructions and ingredient list. The instructions are standard: keep refrigerated, consume within 4 hours of opening, avoid direct sunlight, do not heat. But the most absurd part? The ingredient list. Ingredients: water. That's it. Can't be helped, the trace minerals don't need to be listed, and the bacterial strain can't legally be listed, so only standard known ingredients are declared, and there's nothing there but water. I tear open the silver foil pouch. Inside is a tray of plastic ampules, 10 in a row, Retail price, $30 per tray. Actually, that's the wholesale price. Suggested retail is $32. I pull one out, snap the plastic tip, and squeeze all 25 milliliters of BioVital shot into my mouth. A few minutes later, that familiar wave of clarity and energy washes over me. Same effect as always, just slightly less intense. But that doesn't matter. What matters is, we're ready to sell. Jay walks in. Boss, the county office called. They heard we've started production and want to know when we're hosting our launch ceremony. They'd like to attend to show their support for outside businesses coming to the area. I shake my head. That's all on you. I just want results. Tell me, how much did we produce today? What's our daily capacity? And what does the revenue look like? The numbers will blow your mind. Jay lights up. Honestly, we owe it all to Lily for being ruthlessly clever coming up with all those ideas. With both bottling lines running at full capacity, we're pushing out just over 80,000 units per hour. We ran for 5 hours this afternoon, sitting at around 400,000 units in stock. If we run 3 shifts, 24 hours a day, we can hit close to 2 million units daily. 2 million units if we sell every single one. After taxes, that's around $5 million a day. $5 million a day, boss. And once you subtract costs, that's pure profit in your pocket. Costs? What costs? I scoff. The raw materials to produce the trace minerals add up to almost nothing, not even a 10,000th of revenue. The colony reproduces on its own. Besides paying the staff, there are virtually no costs. Alright, grab me some finished product. I'm heading back to Yong City. This place is yours now. Anything you need going forward, just take it. You have my full backing. I start packing up. Jay's emotions are tangled, moved by my trust in him, yet still feeling like he's dreaming. For the past 2 days, he's been walking on air, nothing feeling solid underfoot. But he knows it's real. This is reality. No dream. All he can do now is rise to the moment, honor Ethan's trust, not let this chance slip by, prove his own worth, and make everyone who ever looked down on him eat their words. Outside the temporary quarters, amid a field of construction rubble, Lily kicks a stone across the ground and seethes into her phone. Dad, can you stop worrying about nothing? I'm on a work trip. I spent one night outside. I am not dating that jerk. Why won't you believe me? How can I not worry? Owen's voice comes through the phone. Your mother left early. I raised you by myself through everything. I am not about to watch you fall into a trap. This Ethan, his methods are extreme, unpredictable. That alone might be forgivable. But borrowing $80 million over a relationship just to get revenge on Skywave Group? That's not just reckless, it's unhinged. Date a nobody if you want, I won't say a word. But not him. I am not. Lily bites her lip, desperately wanting to say that Ethan isn't playing with water, he's playing at a godlike level. But it's company confidential. Nobody told her to keep quiet, but no one dares to leak a word. Lily has her principles. She can't say it, so she loses it instead. Stop judging him through a biased lens. The guy is capable. He's not as unreliable as you say, and he's plenty rational. See? You said there was nothing going on, and now you're already taking his side. Owen pounces on the slip. Lily, flustered and furious, hangs up right then and there. What's going on? I finished packing up and was just about to call for everyone when Lily comes walking over with a stiff expression. Nothing. Old man sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. Who? I pause. Then it clicks. Your dad, over you staying out? He's 100% a girl dad. Where's your mom? Doesn't she keep him in check? My mom's been gone for years. I'm sorry. I get it immediately. Owen's whole mindset makes sense. He raised this girl on his own and she's his only one. If some guy swept her away, it would genuinely break him. It's fine. I've made my peace with it, Lily says, shaking her head. I leave it there. Some things can't be put into words. In this life, I'm an orphan. My former soul grew up starved of love, which is exactly how that scheming woman Jin Yalan had manipulated him into doing her dirty work. I catch up with Zach and Buck, and the 4 of us head out toward Wei County. Wei County sits right on Yong City's border, barely an hour's drive to reach the city center. I dial Big Ray. I hadn't reached out before. I was waiting for this exact moment. Without a product in hand, talk is cheap. Having something real to show is what gets investors interested. There's so much in the system store that I want, and I need money. Not investment in the company, that's equity, and equity doesn't count as debt. Ethan will never give up equity. If people can just buy in, who's going to lend him money? What he needs is personal loans, money lent directly to him. In short, high interest is fine, but equity is off the table. Loans only. Hey buddy, what a coincidence, I was just about to call you. Some of the guys heard about what you've been up to and insisted I bring you out for dinner. You free? Big Ray's booming voice fills the line. Always free, I laugh. My new product just dropped too, you'll have to give it a taste. Deal, I'll send you the address. He hangs up, and the address comes through almost instantly. A high-end hotel in Yong City. I relay it to Buck at the wheel, then glance at Lily. Want to drop you off first? No, Lily says, wrinkling her nose. I've been grinding all day. There's free food on the table. I'm not leaving. Got it. Still worked up over the thing with your dad. Totally fair. Meanwhile, in an office somewhere, Owen grows more restless by the minute. He waves his secretary over. It's getting late. She should be home by now. Go check with the compound staff. Find out if she's made it back. Yes, sir. The secretary nods, quietly stunned. She has never seen her boss like this before. Across town at Skywave Group, Vivian slides a layoff list across the desk to Director Kane. Director Kane, we poached quite a few people this round, but this wave of layoffs seems to have hit the chief faction. They're pushing back hard. Ignore them, dead men walking, Kane sneers. Ever since that last incident, his contempt for the Chief family has only grown. They finally managed to clean up their image, and they're still pulling shady moves behind the scenes. Not a single working brain cell between all of them. What about Ethan? How is he doing? Haven't heard anything about him in a while. Kane flips through the list as he asks. He still has a soft spot for that kid. The guy had walked away with millions, but what if he wanted to keep working? And young people, after sitting idle for a while, they get restless. Pull him back when that happens, whether to get things done or to make the Chief family's life miserable. He'd be a useful card either way. There is news, it's just that Vivian's expression turns odd. What? After that whole thing wrapped up, he didn't just walk away with a few million. He also pulled 80 million from the Yong City branch. Vivian holds up the number with her fingers. 80 million. Kane is surprised. Then he shakes his head. Kid's got game. I was going to bring him back. Turns out he went and started his own business. What industry? Selling water. Vivian's expression gets even stranger. What? Kane blinks. You're joking. He hit us, then kicked us while we were down, and he's out there selling water? It's true, Vivian says, equally bewildered. I got curious and looked into it. Apparently he already has a finished product. There's a dinner tonight. Some business contacts got together. One of them is a contact of mine. He says tonight's main event is Ethan, and that Ethan is bringing some mysterious product to show. Kane drops the file and stands up. Let's go take a look. Vivian hesitates. Even if he's in this industry, he's just getting started. Aren't we giving him too much face by showing up? There's already plenty of gossip out there. Things have barely settled down. If you go, it signals you take him seriously. Kane speaks firmly. You have to respect your competition. He heads for the door. Vivian watches him go, shaking her head slightly. She thinks Kane is reading way too much into this. It's pure imagination. There's no grand strategy here, just coincidence. But Kane has spoken, so she follows. Dragon Crown International Hotel, Yong City. We step out of the car and follow a staff member's directions, taking the elevator up to Big Ray's private room. The room is massive. You could fit a full apartment inside. Gold and jewel-toned decor blazes under the lights, dripping with luxury. Big Ray and his crew are lounging around, smoking and chatting over tea. The moment he spots me, Big Ray jumps to his feet, strides over with a grin, pulls me into a hug, and announces to the room, "Our guest of honor is here! This is Ethan! Ethan, my man, just as sharp-looking as I expected. Young, talented, one of the sharpest young guys I know. I'm betting on you. Old Ray here has been telling your story over and over. My ears have grown calluses. Finally, the man himself. Come on, come on." Everyone stands to greet me. All men, 7 or 8 of them, loud and lively. Off to one side of the room, a smaller adjoining room sits with its door open. Men and women inside, clearly the space for the boss's secretaries and drivers. Lily has clearly been in rooms like this before. She gives me a quick nod and takes the initiative, leading Zach and Buck over to the side room. Big Ray pulls me toward the main group. "Come on, buddy, let me introduce everyone. This is Deputy Victor from Yong City Central Bank. This is Big Sun from Hengyuan Securities. This is Rex, owner of Dragon Crown International. This is Chief Liang from Yonghua Construction." Big Ray introduces each one, and I recognize either the companies or the names from recent research. Deputy Victor, he's probably the poor guy who helped unlock that large transaction. Big Sun from Hengyuan Securities is a large man, heavy-set and jovial. Rex from Dragon Crown, he's the owner of this very 5-star hotel. Dragon Crown is a chain with locations outside the province too. As for the other people, I don't know them well enough, and they don't look like obvious lenders. I greet everyone and take my seat. Big Ray grins. "So, buddy, I hear you took out 80 million to start your own thing. What's the business? And where's this new product? Show us what you've got." "I was waiting for you to ask," I say with a smile. "This product is going to blow your minds. Just so we're clear up front, I'm in urgent need of cash. But once my product hits the market, it's a gold mine. Don't worry about whether I can pay you back. I'm offering high-interest loans. You all should get in on this." The room catches on immediately. These are all business people. Putting money into a company as equity? Too risky. Real money could turn into worthless shares. But a direct personal loan to a founder running his own business? That's different. It means the borrower has full confidence in their own ability to make money, not willing to sell shares cheap. And that alone signals the company has serious potential. The room perks up. "Let's see it. Ethan, if you're this confident, as long as the product holds up, no question, the central bank can put together a loan package." Hengyuan Securities signals interest too. Everyone starts chiming in, generous with their words. I keep it short. I reach into the thermal case I brought and pull out a stack of BioVital shots, handing one pouch to each person. Everyone watches with confusion. What kind of product needs a thermal case? Isn't that for high-tech equipment? Once the product is in their hands, the confusion deepens. They flip it over, read the packaging, check the back label. Everyone is completely lost. "Buddy, I genuinely cannot tell what this is." Big Ray asks the question on everyone's mind. The whole room turns to look at me. I tear open the foil pouch, pull out one BioVital shot, and smirk. "Trust me, try it first. The effect will explain everything. Go ahead, ladies first." The others laugh at me, but they hesitate, eyeing the thing in their hands. It looks suspiciously like medication. Is this even legit? Still, the label says it's a beverage. A bizarrely tiny, oddly packaged one, maybe some kind of flavored syrup. They watch me drink mine, hesitate, then slowly pop their own. Within moments, the room goes quiet for a few minutes. Then suddenly someone shoots to their feet, eyes wide. This feeling is incredible. What is this? Am I imagining things? The room erupts, everyone talking at once, shaken and disbelieving, all of them feeling something shift inside themselves. Chief Liang from Yonghua Construction goes through a series of expressions before standing up quietly. Excuse me, bathroom. Buddy, what exactly is this stuff? Big Ray and the others are equal parts curious and stunned. Something like this, a quiet suspicion is forming in their minds. I smile. My company's new product. So, impressive, right? Hard to say whether it's good or not. I've never felt anything like it before, Big Ray says, visibly conflicted. But buddy, this isn't legal, is it? What makes it illegal? I laugh. This is brand new, never existed before. If you insist it's illegal, I take offense. There is no law anywhere that explicitly bans this. They exchange glances, stunned. Brand new, never existed before. What's the production capacity and the price? Deputy Victor's hand trembles around his cup. 2 million units per day, $30 each. I hold up 3 fingers. The room draws a collective sharp breath. One man goes pale, wobbles to his feet. Sorry, low blood sugar, I need to grab my medication. The others see this and want to follow, but they catch my bright, locked-in stare and freeze. What if he's carrying? Damn it, this is all Big Ray's fault. That guy, they could kill him right now. The whole room glares daggers at Big Ray. Let me tell you more about this product. How much can you lend me? Big Ray forces a laugh, squirming under the group's furious stares. Let's eat first, everyone's hungry, we can talk after. That works for me. Something feels slightly off, but I'm the guest here, so I go with the flow. Big Ray signals the staff and dishes start arriving. The table fills with elegant food. Glasses are raised, I join in without hesitation, trading toasts around the table, quietly noting that every one of these men is a future creditor. What he doesn't expect is that barely 20 minutes into the meal, the door crashes open with a bang. Everyone jolts. A squad of officers storms in, fully geared, armed with flashlights and handguns. Everyone at the table scrambles to their feet, every single finger in the room pointing straight at me. I barely have time to process it before handcuffs click around my wrists. Then I hear someone shout, "There are 3 more in that other room. What's going on? Why are you arresting us? We're innocent." Zack and Buck shouting snaps me back. "It's a misunderstanding. All of it. Shut up." Chief Liang, who apparently spent the last half hour in the bathroom, steps forward, looking down at me with contempt. "Do you know who I am? Before I went into business, I was narcotics enforcement. You are finished, kid. I recorded everything. Developing a new controlled substance, 2 million units a day at $30 a pop. What? You planning to take over the global drug market? You're done. A guy your size, 300 pounds of you, and half of that's bullets by the time they're done. Damn it." I glare at this old man with pure fury. Never in a million years did I think someone would take one sip and call the cops on me. "Can I make a phone call?" Lily speaks up, calm as still water. Her composure unsettles everyone around her. "No." The officer refuses on the spot. Lily has nothing to say to that. The 4 of us are marched forward under escort. People stare and point as we pass, especially one man and one woman standing in the hotel lobby, both staring in absolute disbelief. Manufacturing and selling controlled substances. Wasn't he supposed to be selling water? Director Kane turns to Vivian, stunned. Vivian's jaw drops. "I had no idea. Let me find out." She's already on the phone. A moment later, Vivian hangs up, dazed. "He was using a beverage business as a front, developing a new controlled substance. Word is the daily output is 2 million units. Kane is floored. He murmurs, "Unbelievable. Unprecedented. This kid, he really is something else. If he hadn't been caught, he'd have owned the global drug market. This is a major case. The whole region is going to know his name. He'll be on the national news tomorrow." Name. "I'm innocent. There are no controlled substances. It's a beverage, no side effects whatsoever. Settle down. Name, Ethan. Age, 25. Quickly, because I refuse to cooperate further, the interrogation wraps up. In you go. I'm put in a cell. It's the detention room of the enforcement station, a large space converted from a regular room, iron bars dividing it into sections. Most of the cells are empty. In one of the smaller ones, a heavyset guy is lying on the floor. "Hey man, what are you in for?" Chunk turns his head and asks. "Selling beverages." I don't even have the energy to explain. "No way, I'm in for selling candy." Chunk sounds annoyed. "What the hell, I sold some candy. So what if it was expensive? Is that a crime? Why am I even in here?" "Seriously?" I look at him, genuinely baffled. "They got you for high prices too?" "Don't laugh. How much was your drink?" Chunk asks. $30 a bottle, pricey, sure, but not that crazy. "Why'd they grab you?" Chunk's even more confused now. "How much in a bottle?" 25 milliliters, I answer. "Holy!" Chunk's eyes go wide. "You're worse than me. $1 a milliliter? What, is it liquid gold? My rock candy only ran a few $100 a bag." "Quiet, no talking." 2 armed officers cut off the conversation. One of them fixes his eyes on me. "Drop the attitude. Developing a new controlled substance, daily output of 50 tons. Nobody's saving you." "What?" Chunk goes rigid, voice dropping to a whisper. "You serious? New controlled substance, 50 tons a day? What are you, some kind of real-life Breaking Bad?" "I didn't do anything. Stop making things up." I can't be bothered to explain, but I know I'll be fine, so I stay calm. About half an hour passes. Noise from outside. A line of people with black hoods over their heads is marched in, all cuffed to a row of bars. The hoods come off and they immediately start protesting their innocence. But then, one of them spots me. I take one look and spin around fast. Boss, don't hide, boss, I already saw you." Vincent grabs the bars with both hands. "Boss, tell them we're innocent." I want to disappear. Our entire sales team. Not a single one got away. all arrested. Did you just say your whole crew just got dragged in? Chunk gets up suddenly, very alert. I've got absolutely nothing to say. At that same moment, in a stately office building across the city, urgent knocking at the door, Owen furrows his brow. Come in. His secretary rushes in, dripping with sweat, and before Owen can say a word, Chief, something's happened. Miss Lily has been arrested. Suspected involvement in developing and mass-producing a new controlled substance. What? Owen's first reaction is shock, then his brow knits hard. Impossible. That girl would never do something like this. It's real. The secretary wipes the sweat from his forehead. Miss Lily identified herself. The enforcement department contacted me urgently. Do you think it's possible? Possible what? Owen's voice goes ice cold. The secretary scrambles. That Ethan, he always takes the risky path. Could this be his mess and Miss Lily got caught up in it? Owen's expression shifts. That kid plays it risky, but this reckless? Come on, let's go see for ourselves. But Chief, your position... If this turns out to be real, what does my position matter? Move. It's a night that shakes everything. The next morning, I'm woken up. Mr. Ethan, we apologize. It was a misunderstanding. The head of the enforcement department is all smiles, leading a group to unlock my cell and Vincent's. No way! Chunk blinks awake from the floor, sees what's happening, and shoots upright, grabbing the bars. He gets to walk out? What kind of connections does this guy have? What's his deal? Nearby officer. He disguised rock candy as a controlled substance and sold it. Technically not illegal, but it edges toward fraud. The victims can't really pursue it, and we're not sure how to handle it, so we've been holding him. The officer shrugs helplessly. I'm innocent, Chief. I'm a good person. I only sold a few packs before they grabbed me. We're not even talking $3,000. There's no reason to lock me up. Chunk is wailing his case. The chief pinches the bridge of his nose. He just dealt with one massive blunder, and now he's worried this guy will kick up more trouble later. Too much of a headache. Let him go. Thank you so much. Chunk is practically in tears, falling in behind everyone else, bolting the second he clears the door. When I reach the lobby, I spot Lily standing beside a middle-aged man who's holding a biovital shot and talking animatedly with someone. Next to them, two elderly men are visibly stirred up, hands and feet practically trembling with excitement. Boss! Lily waves. Everyone looks my way. The two elderly men converge on me immediately. Are you the one who developed the biovital special bacterial strain? You're so young, unbelievable. And you are? I ask. My name is Professor Chen. Professor of Medicine at Yong University, Head of Epidemiology at Yong University Hospital, Director of Infectious Disease. One of them speaks first, then gestures to the other. This is Professor Su, recently here at Yong University, giving a lecture series in the biology department. Professor Su is the top scholar in our nation's field of microbiology, a researcher at the National Academy of Microbiology and one of the leading figures in our national-level biolabs. I stare. The biovital strain shaking the world was inevitable, but attracting people of this caliber this quickly? Young man, may we have a conversation? Professor Su can barely contain himself. The bacterial strain you've discovered is extraordinary. This is a discovery that will shake the entire world. Last night we ran preliminary tests on the strain, and what we found, its emergence will send shockwaves through the entire scientific community. The number of research directions this opens up, this entirely new mutated strain has single-handedly carved out a brand new lane in modern biology. You're too kind, I say with a modest nod. We've conducted very thorough research on this strain. I can tell you plainly, yes, its emergence will cause a stir, but opening a whole new lane in biology? That's a stretch. I walk Professor Su through the strain's key characteristics. He's visibly deflated for a moment, but then quickly his eyes light back up. Is there any possibility the strain could mutate again? Setting everything else aside, if the strain's survivable temperature could increase by just 18 degrees Fahrenheit, this thing could genuinely change the world, transform the constitution of all of humanity, achieve a complete biological evolution of our species. Of course not. I shake my head internally. The technology he redeemed from the system store is essentially complete and fixed, which means this strain has no possibility of mutating again. So it cannot drive human evolution. It can only serve as a supporting material for the gene evolution formula down the line. But I'm not about to say that out loud. Instead, my eyes light up. Professor, as you know, I run a company. I simply don't have the bandwidth to pour into deep research. How about a partnership, my company and your team working together? Professor Su rubs his hands together, thrilled. An old man like me isn't greedy. Your discovery alone is enough to shake the world. Once I take over the research side, it will draw the top talent in this field from around the globe, and that will bring enormous benefits to me and all of my ongoing work. Here's what I can promise. Any results that come out of the research, we keep only the right to use them for ourselves. Any revenue-generating activity requires your authorization, and all profits beyond costs are entirely yours. Thank you, Professor Su. I could burst with joy. This old man is the real deal. He's almost embarrassed by how generous his terms are. This is a man who chases knowledge and reputation, not money. Pure scientist, completely indifferent to financial reward. Without a doubt, the special strain can't directly serve as the core purification product, but it holds enormous research value. Developed well, the future returns won't be small. I think it over. For our joint project, I won't put in capital for now. Your side covers that. But I can promise, once any future breakthroughs generate revenue, 20% of the net profit goes entirely toward research funding. Yours to use however you see fit. Thank you. Truly, thank you. Professor Su grips my hand with genuine gratitude. There's no doubt about it. The strain is still my exclusive formula. There will be no shortage of institutions willing to fund and staff research for me. Professor Su is willing to forego all profit purely for the chance to claim this project. Real science is built on failure far more than success. He's already prepared himself for significant losses, but now that I'm offering 20% of revenue, losing money simply isn't possible. This is a win for both of us. And I won't lose either. I don't have to manage a thing, just wait for the money to roll in. As for doing the research, myself, absolutely not. For him, that time is better spent figuring out how to borrow more money. Compared to everything else in the system store, the biovital strain barely scratches the surface. At this point, Professor Chen steps forward, unable to hold back. Mr. Ethan, we in medicine also need this strain urgently. The biovital shot has enormous potential as a treatment aid across multiple areas. Yong University's medical school has its own labs, also a nationally designated key laboratory. We'd love to collaborate too. Any chance you'd give us that opportunity? Of course, Professor Chen quickly adds. Our terms are the same as Professor Su's, and Yong University Hospital is affiliated with the medical school. We have no shortage of funding. We don't need research funding. All we need is the name, an official partnership. As for the medical applications of the special strain, Professor Chen had already run his own tests last night. The results were stunning. He knows that I have no actual need to partner with them. The product sells itself as a beverage, and they'd have to buy it like everyone else. On top of that, for better clinical results, they'd have to fund their own research too. So there's no way he's asking for research funding. All he wants right now is the partnership title, and he'll be grateful. With that title alone, Yong University Hospital and the medical school will shoot to the top of the field, the brightest names in medicine. I had already been planning to position the biovital shot as a health supplement, so I already understand exactly what Professor Chen is after. But it doesn't matter. Running a company, I don't put too much stock in titles, but the collaboration benefits are real. For one thing, once biovital shot carries Yong University's name, selling it gets a whole lot easier. No need to worry about smear campaigns or fake rumors. And second, partnering with an institution like this brings the company a lot of invisible advantages. For example, Professor Chen suddenly sweetens the deal further. From what I understand, Xinhai Company was just founded. Benefits and perks are probably still underdeveloped. Once we're official partners, your employees can come to Yong University Hospital for free regular checkups, and both staff and their families can access care through our internal employee channel. That's a perk exclusive to our hospital's own people. I have the authority to extend it, and I'm extending it to our partner. Here's to a great partnership. I reach out and shake Professor Chen's hand. His face breaks into a wide, beaming smile. With both deals settled, I look over at Lily. She's standing beside the middle-aged man, looking every bit the composed young lady. That must be Owen. I step forward and shake his hand with a smile. Great to meet you, sir. Owen looks me up and down, his smile not quite reaching his eyes. Mr. Ethan, the pleasure is yours. After a whole night of chaos, you seem remarkably well rested. I take that as a grievance. I glance at Lily, fair enough. I got his daughter locked up for a night on charges of manufacturing a controlled substance. This man, clearly devoted to his daughter, must have been out of his mind with worry all night. I'm quick to step in. I'm so sorry, truly I didn't think it through. I should have sent Lily home before going to that dinner. Owen's expression softens noticeably. He pats my shoulder. Kids grow up. Late bloomer, good for you. I looked at the product. It's the real deal. Keep your feet on the ground and keep moving forward. The sky's the limit. Arr! I nod repeatedly and see everyone off. Outside the enforcement station, Zach and Buck are already in the car. I pull out my phone and call Big Ray. Hello? Big Ray's voice comes through, careful, cautious. It's me, I say deadpan. Old man, what was that? You invite me to dinner and it ends with me behind bars? Buddy, you're out? Big Ray is stunned. He thought it was the officers calling. How are you already out? I told all of you, it's not a controlled substance, it's a brand new product. I don't hide my irritation. Oh, Big Ray is silent for a long, awkward moment. A misunderstanding. I'm truly sorry. Truly. Here's what we do, buddy. Go rest. Tonight's on me. We'll get together again and I'll have Chief Liang personally serve you tea and apologize face to face. The tea serving can wait, I say, rolling my eyes. I'm not free anytime soon. The product is blowing up, what can I say? A member of the National Academy tracked me down and Yong University's medical school came knocking for a partnership too. Not happening for a while. Called you just to give you a heads up. I hang up. The whole thing was one massive blunder, all a misunderstanding. I'm not petty enough to hold a grudge over this. That whole group? Walking money bags. Future lenders, every one of them. Maximizing returns, that's the goal. If they come to me with money, I'm certainly not turning it away. Thinking all this, I can't help but smile. Buck speaks up from the driver's seat. Boss, maybe call Director Norm too. Last night after they questioned us, the officers contacted him. After we got out, none of us knew what to say, so we never called. He's probably under a lot of pressure right now. A lot of pressure? Enormous. At that very moment, inside Director Norm's home, his eyes are red and raw. After a sleepless night, Director Norm has already tied a rope. Norm, don't do this! His wife wails, grabbing his arm. Director Norm covers his face with one hand, the other gripping the rope. This is on me. I let you all down. I got too ambitious. One wrong step and I've fallen off a cliff. It's all my fault. I never should have approved that loan. It was already bending the rules. I took every precaution I could think of, and never once imagined he'd go and cook up a new drug. $80 million and 50 tons a day. He's a monster. A lunatic. No wonder he wasn't satisfied with 10 million in profit. He had to take 80 million at high interest. I kept wondering, what business makes that kind of money? What business makes someone that confident? Turns out, drugs. And here I was thinking he was an idiot. Selling water of all things. Turns out I was the idiot all along. Don't, please don't, his wife sobs. We don't need anything, let's just leave. Right now. As long as you're alive, nothing else matters. Stop trying to talk me down. Someone has to take the fall for this, and if it spills onto Preston, we're all finished. If I'm gone, you can still have a good life. This is how it has to be. I'm tired. Let it end. Director Norm squeezes his eyes shut. Then his phone on the floor starts ringing. His wife looks down. It's Preston, answer it. Director Norm scrambles to pick it up and connects the call. Director Norm, help me set up a meeting with Ethan. Preston's voice carries a note of wonder, a note of reflection. Ethan? How am I supposed to arrange that? That guy's still locked up, probably about to be executed. Wait. Director Norm suddenly catches himself. Right. Ethan is about to die. Preston must be subtly telling him to follow Ethan to the grave. I understand. Director Norm lets out a long sigh, his voice hollow with despair. Preston, I only ask one thing. Please look after my wife and kids. Nothing lavish, just keep them safe. What are you talking about? Preston is completely baffled. Why does this man sound like he's saying his last goodbye?